Yes, people, welcome to another edition of From a Third Eye View on Pi Radio, hosted by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note, and I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Mr. I've seen more in the night than you've seen in your life, Man Like Bloodstro, aka Stato, aka Stro, aka very unhappy with FSG.
And you took the words right out of my mouth. AKA FSG is getting a full clip, boy.
What happened? We're gonna get into FSG, but love to everyone who tuned into Pi Radio from a Third Eye View. Last week's show, we're here every Monday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. You can lock in live on the YouTube. Salute to everyone who's locked in via DAB radio. Make sure you retune your DAB radio, or you might be listening online as well. But you can hear us. That's all that matters. You can hear us, and we're here discussing all things Premier League. Please make sure if you are watching on the YouTube, whether you're watching it live right now or you're watching this back, please make sure you hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell as well. All right, let's get into it. Because I always love starting off the show with some Liverpool slander from a Liverpool fan. So this wasn't where we was going to go, but we are going to go there. So Stro, explain why you are unhappy with PSG, because I legit don't know.
With PSG or FSG?
Oh, no, FSG, sorry. See, I got so excited, I said PSG. FSG, why are you unhappy with FSG?
So, boom. Last season,
okay,
Liverpool signed historic, can't stress that enough, an historic kit deal with Nike. Basically making us the first in UK history where you hear the saying, well, if you buy a player, you'll get it back from shirt sales. That's never how it works. How it works is, look at United's deal with Adidas, for example. They pay you 85 million a season. They own the rights to Manchester United. Mm-hmm. Merchandise, kits, training tops, training pants, everything, right? Liverpool said, listen, give us a lower end or a lower fee at the end, at the front end, which was 35 million. We then want 30% of all Nike Liverpool sales.
Right.
Liverpool's kit last year did over 1 million buys.
Right.
Whole.
Right.
2 other kits on top of that. Plus trading kits.
Yeah.
Plus hats.
Right.
Scarves. Historic amount of money. So when I'm hearing constantly that COVID is hit Liverpool, it's hit FSG, there's issues, they lost out an amount of money, etc., that's fine. You could go and buy Mbappe tomorrow, and you'd make it back in 24 to 48 hours on the shirt sales alone.
That is facts. Yes, you would.
There's no excuse.
Okay.
Then you see Wijnaldum, and it was, he's going to renew. It's optimistic. We're working on it. Then bang. This was towards the end of last season. Out of nowhere. Liverpool aren't renewing his terms. He's going. Mm-hmm. Then a week before the Euros, you then hear, after the Euros, I will explain the full reason why I'm no longer at Liverpool. And you think there's something that's not adding up here.
Right.
Then I wake up this morning. Beautiful sunny morning. Bit sunburnt. Celebrating the 3K party yesterday at Sarcasm City.
Yes, we hit 3K at Sarcasm City TV. Much love to everyone who has been supporting Sarcasm City TV in whatever capacity.
So obviously in a good mood, scrolling through my timeline, seeing if there's any Liverpool transfer news. And the one piece of news I did not expect to see is Liverpool Football Club are not looking to renew Jordan Henderson's contract.
What? Really?
So he's got...
How long has he got left?
He's got...
Let me just get this straight. Liverpool, and this is from a... this is from a reliable source as well.
This is from all the Liverpool...
Okay, so all the Liverpool sources have said Liverpool are not looking to renew.
So basically, they went to the table. Jordan Henderson's contract renewal at the end of last season.
Okay,
it's now gone stagnant.
Right.
To the point where Jordan Henderson's now weighing up his options and might leave this summer as a result.
Yeah.
This is the club captain, number one. This is the only captain in Liverpool football history that has delivered you a Premier League title. This is the same captain that when all the COVID hit, gathered all the Premier League captains and went, we need to do a fund for the NHS.
True.
This is the same captain that has done ridiculous amounts of work of charity in Liverpool alone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what this man represents? Forget Liverpool Football Club for a second. This is bigger than football. This man's an icon to some Liverpool fans because of the work that he's done for charity, the work that he's done. Look at Marcus Rashford, for example.
Yeah.
Jordan Henderson has done similar charity work.
Right.
Millions of pounds for the NHS when they needed it most. He was spearheading that.
Yeah.
The iconic pictures you now see of Jordan Henderson lifting the Premier League, you can't replace that and you can't forget that. How dare you turn around and say that we potentially might not renew his contract? That man retires at the club. It's a disgrace. I don't want to hear anything about we've lost over because Liverpool have got the highest match day revenue, that we've lost all that money. I don't want to hear none of it. You signed a Nike deal.
Right.
I know how much them Nike. Let me just say something to you, right?
Oh, cool.
So I don't know how many people are aware of this, right? But basically, Nike do 2 different kits.
Yeah.
And this is just for home. This is for away. This is for the third kit, right? They'll do, it's called your match replica or your stadium replica and players edition. Have a guess how much the players edition costs. This is no word of a lie, by the way. I'll get it up right now.
Go on.
Take a wild guess.
So how much what costs?
So you've got replica, which is the stadium edition. Then you've got players edition, right?
Right.
Have a guess how much the replica is, and have a guess how much the players edition. So we'll start off with the replica.
So the replica kit. This is the replica.
Replica t-shirt. So the replica match shirt, right?
Oh, the match. Right. Replica. I would say £60.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a guess how much the players edition is.
90.
You're not far off.
Go on. What did I guess right? Go on. Tell me. Let me know.
So basically, the match edition is £115.
Jeez. £150.
115. That's without the badges, without the printing.
You would want the badge, but I'll get you.
£115.
Yeah.
It's £65 for the stadium replica one.
Yeah.
We sold 1 million kits.
Okay.
Home kits. Not away in third kit. I'm just talking purely home kits last year. Are you telling me there's no money? What planet did you think we're living on? These are the same scum. These are the same guys that legitimately tried to join the Conference League.
They did try and join the Conference League, and that will never be forgotten.
They tried to trademark Liverpool football.
Okay, so let's get into it. Who doesn't want Jordan Henderson? Is it a club? Surely we know how Klopp is. If Klopp, I believe, if Liverpool refused to renew the contract of a player that Klopp wanted, Klopp would kick up a fuss and leave. You are not
ready. I could not have timed this any better.
Go on.
3 minutes before we came on air.
Go on, what happened?
And Wijnaldum quotes pops out of nowhere.
Go on.
Many supporters asked me why I didn't accept the contract offer from Liverpool. There are things happening behind the scenes that you can't influence. What I do want to say is the people at the training complex, the staff of the club, and the players would have liked to keep me. But there's too much stuff going on behind the scenes.
So
and then we come down to Jordan Henderson. It's the exact same scenario. James Milner goes on a free net season. That's fine. That's one of the best free transfers you will ever see.
Yeah, 100%.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
You ride off into the sunset.
100%.
I don't mind if you go now and you go back to Leeds because it's your hometown club.
Yeah.
I owe you so much. Thank you very much for your service.
Solid,
unbelievable. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Okay.
So there's Wijnaldum we've lost.
Yeah.
A leader, a captain on the pitch, even though he's not wearing the captain's armband.
Are you sorry to? So you were sorry to see Wijnaldum leave?
Yes.
I'm asking. Okay, so you was a big fan of him.
I was unhappy with his performances towards the end, but now I understand exactly why his head wasn't on it.
Makes sense.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
However, I don't think there's a man that keeps hold of the ball better in the Premier League at times than Wijnaldum, maybe Pogba, in terms of how he manipulates his body to keep hold of the ball.
Okay. Yeah.
When was the last time you heard Wijnaldum was injured?
He does seem to stay fit for you, look. That is true. So you're upset to see him go.
He was our most played midfielder last season.
What? Here's the thing is, if Klopp, because of the character I see Klopp as, if he
read what I've just said.
Yeah, if he really wanted to keep Wijnaldum, he seems like the type to kick off.
But at the same time, we're dealing with the same people that tried to make Liverpool Football Club join Europa or join the Euro Super League. Klopp kicked up a fuss then. And this is the point. And this is the issue, what I'm now having. is this kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Jordan Henderson's not an any player. He's your leader.
He's your leader, but I've been saying this about, is he the leader for Liverpool? Yes, but if you're willing to let him go, put it this way, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't see FSG allowing a Van Dijk, a Sane, a Mane or a Salah to leave Liverpool on a free.
It's a disgrace.
I don't see that. I definitely don't see them 100%. Like, no, I don't see. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see that happening. I've said this about Jordan Henderson. Good player, good leader, helped you lot massively with the success you had. But is he replaceable? Yes. And this is why your club is willing to let him go on a free.
Now you see that's my point. From a player standpoint, yes. Are the better midfielders out there than Jordan Henderson that we could get? Probably.
100%.
No. Keyword there being probably, because all I'm hearing is Liverpool don't have the money to spend. Where's this money going? Our home kit came out last month. Our away kit has just dropped. The same £115 prices are still there. The same replica ones are still there.
Yeah.
And by the way, you can tell the difference instantly between a player's edition and a replica one. It's night and day.
Okay.
What are you doing to the kids? You know what it's like at school.
Yeah.
They see that you ain't got the
players kit,
the players edition, and they have.
Yeah.
Oh, you just got the replica one. You can't afford it.
Yeah.
What are we doing? One, as a club. Secondly, from a moral standpoint, what are we doing? £65.
Yeah.
And it's not even a proper one.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
£115 for a player's edition.
You
better hope Van Dijk delivers it to me for £115.
Yeah, I want the whole squad, not just Van Dijk. I want the whole squad.
Right,
the whole squad.
And this is my problem, right? It started with New Balance, and then Nike, it's really amplified. I've wanted Liverpool to get a Nike kit deal for years.
Side note, did you see the PSG new away kit? That Nike,
beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. And I'm not even a fan of white kits like that, but that is on point.
No,
Carry on.
It's stunning. And this is my point. Although I'm not a big fan of the home kit, I love the away kit. The away kit for Liverpool this season is stunning. It's from the 90s. It was one of the first away kits I've had when I was a kid. Love it. The third kit, yellow and red. Can't go wrong with yellow and red. Like, I love a yellow away kit for Liverpool. So
yeah, because it's historical for you. I understand.
And this is what I'm saying. And it's like, it's £115.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, I'm just talking about kits. Not to mention, as I mentioned, scarves, hats, socks, mugs, old memorabilia, Nike stuff.
True.
Retro kits.
Huh?
Tracksuits, t-shirts. Generic Liverpool trainers, which they're now starting to do. Air Max Liverpool trainers. 30%.
Joel's not having it.
30%. No, because I've seen the numbers. I don't come in here, guess numbers. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm methodic. I do my research.
Yeah.
Over 1 million home kit sales last season.
Yeah, because as much as it pains me to admit, you are a massive club, like in the country and globally. Massive club, big history, successful. You've been very successful in the past 2 years. Obviously, this past season, not so much, but the 2 seasons before that, Premier League and Champions League winners. So it's like Liverpool are getting the money in.
But this is my
Jamal
point.
says, well, let me just get to this. He said, do they check the YouTube comments? I usually watch this back on the plate. Yes, we are watching the live. I was just letting Stroh get everything off his chest. For those that don't know, from a fair eye view, it's therapy settings. This is why we're starting with Stroh getting things off his chest.
This normally, is more than therapy settings.
Normally, it's me talking about Manchester United and Ollie. But I was like, I love Liverpool slander. So let's Stroh get into why he's unhappy with FSG. Because I've said this. I was saying this to my little bro, Ryan. Shout out to him. He's also a Liverpool fan, for those that don't know. That Liverpool's time at the top in terms of success is over.
What?
I said this. I think your success times is over in terms of the big trophies. I don't think you win the Premier League or Champions League.
In what planet?
You know, so who do you reckon you win the Premier League this season?
I will guarantee that we are challenging. If we get that, and this is where it's key, and this is why I'm so annoyed.
Go on, let's go. We're going to get into this. I think it's done. I think show's over for you lot.
Explain how.
I think the show's over for you lot. I think City are going to go again. They got the grit between their teeth. And I think Chelsea are going to be a massive problem.
I agree.
They're actually, you know what it is? What's crazy? Unpopular opinion. They're my favorites for the league title this season. I think massively. And that's with and what I will say on that, people, that could change depending on transfer windows and what teams do. I'm saying currently, right now, I would favor Chelsea slightly over Manchester City. But if somebody said City over Chelsea, I wouldn't argue you down. But what could change for you lot? Shout out to, who did we have on the show? It was Tyrone. Shout out to my guy Tyrone, and he's a United fan, and he spoke on it. And I hope Klopp wasn't watching, because he spoke about the possibility of Liverpool going to a back three.
Yeah.
And I was like, if Liverpool do go to a back three, that could change everything. So I'm going off current squads and current formations I'm talking about. If Liverpool go to a back three, and you have Alisson in goal, and then you got Van Dijk, Gomez, and Kanate as a back three, Robertson and Trent as wing backs, Thiago and Fabinho I use for example, and then you've got Firmino, Mane, and Salah like in the forward areas, it could be a problem. But will Klopp change his system? We're going to find out a lot about Klopp, because I rate him highly. You know this. All jokes aside or banter aside, I do rate him highly. But I know, Chris, I'm not saying you have turned into a crap team. I just think Chelsea and City are better, and they have better squads. They have more depth.
You are underestimating the one big factor that Liverpool.
What's the big factor? Go on.
What's been missing?
Van Dijk has been missing. That's true.
No. Bigger than Van Dijk.
Go on.
When you think Liverpool, what's the one thing you think of?
Can't stand him. Now go on. What quick tempo football? What do you mean?
No. I'm talking when you think Liverpool football. One of the main reasons why Liverpool's so renowned across Europe, why it's so scared to go to Anfield, is
because of the you're talking about the Anfield atmosphere. That is true too. But I still don't think
No. You can't. Let me just make this clear.
Go on.
You can't underestimate that for 1 second.
Number
one, that's back. Full capacity.
Full capacity.
Loud.
Yeah, 100%.
Off the back of what happened last season, where we had practically everyone injured at one point.
That is true.
Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip, our three starting centre-backs that we won the league with injured. Alisson, injured, lost his dad, head's not on it. Trent, injured, out of form at large parts of the season. Robertson was genuinely our only defender who was
Salah
in
was
form.
Still in form. Mane was off. Fabinho was off.
Mane off form.
Thiago.
Firmino was off form. Thiago was still trying to find his feet. Fabinho was constantly injured. Henderson was injured. Wijnaldum, obviously his head's gone. Yeah, we still finished third without the fans.
But the thing is, I think you finished third. That's not credit to Liverpool, but the league was poor last season, including us, minus Manchester City. There was no team in the top 7, minus West Ham, because they were a surprise edition who had a good season. You know me, like I said this about United. The only reason that second is a false image. We finished second because everybody else was bad. Liverpool fell off. Chelsea had Frank Lampard for half a season, who Tuchel has shown wasn't good enough. Arsenal were Arsenal. Spurs had, we know what it's like with Jose Mourinho. To me, I think City will be better this season. I think Chelsea are riding a wave of momentum. But they have the most momentum going into this season.
I agree.
And I think Pep's got a massive point to prove this season also with trying to win it back to back. And I think, yes, your first, you know me, I think your first 11 is quality. Fabinho, I think, is the best DM in the Premier League. I've said this openly. I just think they have better. And 1 or 2 injuries, which we've seen, can affect you lot.
And this is the point. And this is the point
why I said the transfer window. But yeah, go on.
This is why I'm so annoyed at FSG. Forget the fact that I'm a Liverpool fan for a second. Klopp this season has got the biggest chip on his shoulder out of all them managers you just mentioned. Because Manchester City were further behind in points than we were to them last season. Yet we were touted as the worst Premier League champions of all time. I know he heard that. He's mentioned that in many press conferences. That's a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and that's true. That comes with being Liverpool FC. And this is where I credit you, because I have this conversation with Manchester City fans all the time.
And I get that.
Because I say this all the time. Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League currently. Where you rank him, that's not what I'm arguing. What I'm saying is when he has a poor game, it's not talked about as much as if Thiago has a bad game for Liverpool or Pogba for Manchester United. And that's because, so the reason why people are going to say that because it's Liverpool. If City continue in that trajectory in terms of their success, then boom, they'll get to that point as well. But Liverpool are there and United are there also. Go on,
but this is the point that I'm making. Is Klopp understands that. However, it still really irritated him.
100% it would. Because he's a winner. Of course it would. I've said this. He's a winner, 100%. Let me ask you a question though. Do you think he changes the system?
I think he could. I think he does.
You reckon he goes to the back three?
Potentially. The option's there.
So let me just reiterate this. I think if Liverpool go to the back three, you're definitely more of a shot. That scares me as a United fan if you go to a back three. When Tyrone said it to me, I was like, I hope Klopp's not watching. Obviously, I was joking, but I'm like, I hope Liverpool don't do that. Because I think with a back three, now your plan of attack changes. And I think you're already defensively strong, but it makes you defensively stronger. And then you can get more out of your attacking players as well. And I think it will mask that Firmino's deficiencies. And you get Robertson and Trent much higher. Not that they're not high up the pitch, but now their starting positions are much higher. And they don't have to worry about defending because you got Van Dijk, Gomez, and Kanai we'll use as an example.
But this is my point, is even, for example, if Klopp doesn't change the system.
I agree with you, Chris. I don't think he goes to a back three. But that's just me. I was just getting to Chris going.
But this is what I'm saying is he might not. So what Klopp's done a lot throughout games over the past couple of seasons is you'll look at it and think that's a 4-3-3. However, when you watch it throughout the game, it's like, wait a minute, he's not even playing a 4-3-3 here. And he tweaks it to a 4-5-1. He tweaks it to a 4-2-3-1. So he can make them kind of subtle changes. And this is why I'm so mad at the Henderson one, because what does the Henderson thing do more than anything? More than anything.
It's a bad.
No. I'm talking about him playing on the pitch.
Okay, go on.
What does that do more than anything?
Oh, that keeps he's your tempo cell. You know what I'm saying? He's quick. Like, he keeps a certain, that heavy metal football, and that's not a disrespect because Klopp's been very successful with it. He keeps that tempo. He's your leader on the pitch. I get that.
No, and
go on.
The one big thing.
Go on.
When a certain somebody goes forward, a certain somebody fills in. Hence Trent being high up the pitch.
True.
Because one of Trent's biggest problems last season was the familiarity. He's then looking on the inside to see if he can slip a pass and play the 1-2 and get on the outside. Problem is, there's no Henderson there. So when he's going forward, he's then having to rely on Thiago, who's having to understand the system and still learn his role in it. Hence why Trent was exposed 3 or 4 times where he was a 2-3v1. That doesn't happen with Henderson.
I hear that. Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying is, even if we don't go to a back three, I'm still more than comfortable that we will be serious challenges. One, because you can't ever underestimate Anfield. You've seen that with Barcelona. You've seen that with Dortmund. You've seen it with Olympiacos. You've seen it with Real Madrid. You've seen it with so many times. You can't underestimate that.
No.
You've seen it with Manchester City as well, in the Champions League and in the league. And that's a big factor for Liverpool.
Massive factor, 100%.
And then you add on top the fact that Klopp's got a chip in his shoulder for being touted the worst Premier League champions and all that stuff.
A chip in his shoulder, yes.
My biggest problem isn't the formation, isn't what Klopp's going to do. It's FSG.
Yeah, and that's another thing where I'm going to. I don't think FSG. You're talking about your captain, because you speak very highly about Henderson and the fact that he could be leaving this following summer. I don't think FSG are going to invest. The thing is with Chelsea and City, not only do I think they have better squads than
they will invest. I know that. And this is what I'm saying.
They will invest heavily, where we've seen what happened when you don't invest in your team at the highest level. You know, when it comes to the Premier League, you cannot stand still.
And this is where
and City and Chelsea are arguably 1 or 2 signings away, depending on who you're talking to, of being so much better size. Do I believe Chelsea get what they need? Yes. Do I think Manchester City will get what they need? Yes. And even if they don't get what they need, I think their squads are better than Liverpool's. And if Liverpool were going to invest,
but to be fair, though,
even though I rate Kanate, his injury record's a bit, but I think he's a very good addition.
But at the same time, to be fair, though, they've had better squads than us for the past 4 years.
Say that again?
Both of them have had better squads than us in the past 4 years. Both. Better squads.
Yeah, and that's why City 2 out of the 3 times beat you to the Premier League title.
But at the same time, Champions League, back-to-back Premier League.
I'll give you that. They won the back. Yeah, because you won the 1 Premier League, they won the 1. But I think that was just your time.
No.
I think that's what I'm saying is that 3-year period, even the one where you lost the league title to City by, was it a point or 2 points? It was. That was your team's time. I don't think you go there. And with the Chelsea one, managers are involved. Lampard's there, who's not good enough. Who was Chelsea's manager the past 2-3 years? Because they're already switching. Who else was there? Who was there before Frank Lampard? You got Tuchel now, Frank Lampard, Sarri, who good manager, but I don't think he's on the level of a Klopp or a Pep.
But you get my point now.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, go on.
You can't, and this is the other thing, you can't underestimate Klopp as a manager.
Never. I would never do that.
And
my problem is,
and this is my point.
If Liverpool were being backed fully, I'd go, yeah, I'd put you right in there. I think the lack of backing is going to cost you.
And this is the point I'm getting at is, I genuinely think if we go this summer and get a midfielder of a Saul Niguez, of a Bissouma to replace Wijnaldum, right? If we then go and get like a Marlon from Holland, if we go and get a Doku from Belgium, a kid that can come on to replace Salah, Mane, someone with a better threat, I think I'm comfortable with that, because then our squad's getting better, and I still think we're real challenges, because you've got Matip coming back fit, who is arguably one of the best Premier League defenders when he's actually fit. Problem is, he's fit.
He's never fit.
1 month out of 12. And that's his issue. He's made of paper. Van Dijk's got a point to prove, because the World Cup's coming up, and you can't underestimate that. Same with Gomez. Gomez is looking at Stones and Maguire thinking, I should have been part of that back three. Because he's that good. The pace
What's
of
Gomez, complete side note, what is Gomez? Is he African or Caribbean descent?
Caribbean thing.
Is he Caribbean? Is he Jamaican? Did I see it? I think he is. Go play for Jamaica. That's a whole side note.
No, but
like,
no,
I'm
but
off for that.
no,
Yeah, I
no,
get what
you
your
get my
point.
point now.
I get what your point.
Trent,
what you're saying.
Exactly the same thing. He's thinking, one, I got injured. Secondly, how dare you not even select me in the first place?
100%.
So there's people in that squad with chips on the shoulders with a point to prove. Salah exactly the same thing. Point to prove. He wants that Premier League. Mane needs to come back a different player. Firmino needs to come back a different player. Jota has a point to prove. And I'm excited by that. My big issue is FSG, and that's why I'm so annoyed when I see that this morning.
And that's where I think,
like, how dare you?
That's where I think you fall down, because
I agree with you.
You have the manager and you have the players who are capable, and if you're back to a problem, Champions League is different. I can't say. Let me reiterate this. I'm just fleshing out my thoughts, people, on the show. Champions League, obviously, you never know with the favorable draw, so it can be. I'd say I was a bit harsh on saying Liverpool won't win the Champions League because a favorable draw. We know everybody's doing a rebuilding job in Europe.
I see
Real Madrid got to go again. Barcelona have to go again. The Italian teams aren't what they were. PSG are the only strong ones from France. In England, obviously,
Bayern technically have to go again.
Bayern will always be there or thereabouts. And then obviously you got Chelsea and City. So Liverpool with a favorable draw, definitely over 2 legs. Could they beat a Chelsea, a City, a Bayern Munich, a PSG? Absolutely you could. Over 2 legs. So Champions League, I won't write you off. Premier League, I'm saying, I don't think so over a 38-game season with that squad. I think the lack of backing comes back to bite you, because you're not. If you were just competing versus City, I'd be like, you have a chance. But because there's 2, I don't think so. Because not only do they have a manager who you can say is, whether you think Klopp's the best out of 3 of them, they're close. That's not what my argument is. But they have better squads, and I think they'll go again. And I think they have better squads now. Even though your squad's stronger with the likes of Joe coming in, Kanate, etc., I still think if Chelsea get a Haaland, which we're going to go into, City get a Grealish or a Kane, that takes them to a new level.
And this is the point. I want us to be the underdogs out of them 3.
Yeah, that's what you would like, yeah. Because then the pressure's off you.
No, nothing to do with the pressure. It's Liverpool 5 winning the underdogs, Barcelona 4-0, Olympiacos, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Champions League. Make us underdogs. See what happens. That's a bad idea. That's a terrible idea. Because you've seen what that does to Liverpool. That's when everyone comes together and we thrive upon it. It's like, you don't think we're going to do it. You don't think we can beat Barcelona 4-0. You don't think we can go through to the Champions League.
You never will be.
Okay, let's see then.
Yeah.
But you see what I mean? Once you give Liverpool that kind of mentality, good luck. Yeah. So I agree with you. Everything you're saying is 100% spot on. I believe both of them have got better squads than us in the minute. I believe they will go again. I think FSG are playing the most ridiculous game I've ever seen in my life.
And is that not worrying with Henderson? That he's your captain and he could be losing.
It's one of the worst. Honestly, I felt sick when I seen it this morning.
I think they'll sort that out. As much as I don't rate Henderson, and I think this backs it up, because like I said, if this is a Mane or a Salah, FSG are not letting him go for free. If this is a Fabinho, if this is a Van Dijk, this is a Alisson.
So basically, this is what
I put Trent and Robertson in there.
Henderson's got 2 years left in his contract.
Right. Also, 2-year deal.
June 2023.
Right.
However, what they're saying is, because of the uncertainty, because of everything that's going on, there's a massive chance he leaves this summer. Gone. This summer.
What, for a transfer fee or free?
Transfer.
Also,
regardless if it's a transfer,
no.
it's
what
a
I'm asking
disgrace.
is, are they trying to sell him to make sure they don't lose him on the free?
No. That's what I'm saying. Liverpool aren't looking to sell him.
They don't want to sell him.
However, Henderson's saying, wait a minute, there's something that doesn't add up here. I don't like the way that I'm being treated. I'm the captain for crying out loud. You're telling me I've got Atletico Madrid and PSG looking at me. And
really?
Yeah.
Atletico, I understand, because Simeone, he fits the Simeone. PSG is crazy. PSG is crazy.
He will transform that PSG midfield in terms of leadership like you would never see.
It's crazy. If he goes to PSG, I don't know. If he goes, that is crazy to me, because they are a team who are going to go to a back 3. Obviously, the reports are they're looking at Pogba. They've just signed Genie. You've got Herrera there. You've got Gay there as well.
Variety.
Yeah, you got Variety there, because it's going to be Variety, Wijnaldum, and maybe one other. I just don't. If they sign, that's crazy. But PSG signed Henderson, to me, that's wild. But go on.
Yeah, but you get my point now. So the fact is that there's a big chance that he goes this summer. That's a disgrace. For you to let that happen, I'm sorry.
I just don't think they rate him that highly.
Look at this.
No. When I say that, I'm talking FSG. Again, let me repeat my point. If this is Van Dijk, if this is Salah, if this is Mane, I put Robertson and Trent in there. This is Fabinho. They're not allowing that to happen. Henderson, somebody just said in the comments, Henderson is 31 years old. This is what I've said about Henderson. Good player. Is he overrated? Yes. And I think this shows this doesn't happen to any other club captain that's important to your squad like that. Like, Klopp's kicking up a fuss. I don't think FSG do this. I repeat that if it's another one of your first 11 players. The fact that they're willing to let him go is wild. Do I see him going to PSG? Absolutely not. Atletico Madrid makes sense. I don't know what other destiny. Where else does he go? Who else is interested in him? What other 11s does he get into? I mean, deadly serious.
What other 11s?
Yeah, what other top European sides will include the Premier League side? Let us know in the chat as well. Does Henderson get into?
No, you see this. Right, this is my biggest problem with this. Is people look at Jordan Henderson, right, and think that he's not a world-class player. That he's not a world-class. He's not got world-class ability. He's not got this. He's not got that. What 11 does he walk into, etc., etc. Come on now. So there's a.
Let's talk about it.
Sir Alex Ferguson was on the verge of signing him. Let's not get that mistake.
That's
We're
true.
talking about the greatest manager in the world.
And here's the thing is with Sir Alex, he made mistakes. And I think Henderson would have been one of them as well.
No, but what I'm trying to say to you is this is, as a package, Jordan Henderson, everything I just mentioned, leadership ability, his passing ability, the fact that how he understands the game, how he reads the game, his defensive stability. Jordan Henderson, what he offers to Liverpool, he walks into 90% of the teams in Europe.
All right, let's talk about top sides. So let's go through it. Liverpool, he's in your side, yes. Does he get into the Chelsea team? To me, no.
I think he does.
Ahead of who? Kante or Jorginho? That's the two they play.
No, because you can revert that.
Well, who does it? If we're starting, so they're the options. So let's say Henderson. Let's put Henderson in Chelsea's squad right now. They play with two sitting. They play Kante and Jorginho. Let's talk about.
But this is the point I'm making.
Yeah, he wouldn't replace Kante because him and Jorginho would. So let's talk. Forget individual. Let's talk. Does he fit there as well? He don't fit Chelsea. Kante Jorginho doesn't work.
No. Because this is what I'm saying. Your whole argument is, well, he doesn't suit that system. But yet you're talking about potentially changing systems to Liverpool and stuff like that. To suit the personnel. I genuinely believe if Henderson went to Chelsea, they would change that system completely. Because
he's not one of them players.
What he offered,
he's not one of them players. He's not. They've just won the Champions League. Why would you do that? They don't need to be transformed. I know you rate Henderson and that's your guy, but he doesn't get in that team.
Because
he's not one of them players you get and then you change your system to fit him in. You don't do that. It's Jordan, that he's not one of. We're not doing that. No, because
what do you mean we're not doing that?
Because he's not one of those players. Henderson is not a player you sign.
Not one of those players.
Henderson's not one of them players you sign and change your system.
In what sense?
To go around. So you don't bring him into your team and go, we're going to build our team around you.
In what sense?
Not that. So you don't say, for instance, he does go to Chelsea. Chelsea go, all right, we're going to play.
Did I say that?
4-2-3-1-4. I'm just reiterating that for the Chelsea.
No, but I'm asking you a question. Did I say that? Did I say transfer the team around?
No. I'm just saying.
Reiterate what I actually said. Don't take what I said out of context.
Go on, explain further.
This is what I said. What you can do with that is you can revert the system. So, for example, when he does play, I'm not saying change the whole team around it for crying out loud.
All right, so let's break it down. First 11. If Jordan Henderson goes to Chelsea, he's not playing. He don't play.
How is he not? Come on.
He don't play. He does play. Ahead of you, Jorginho or Kante. Who? Name me. Which one? Which one does he?
This
which
one does he replace? Point that I'm making.
No, which one does he replace?
In the current system, none. But you're not listening to what I'm saying.
Go on.
Because I want to turn around and say what they can do is when they play 4-3-3. Which Chelsea will do because Tuchel, that's one of Tuchel's favourite systems, and he goes back to it. Then Henderson can play.
Okay.
But you then take it and go, but they're changing the system around him. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
What I'm saying is Jordan Henderson will play for Chelsea because they play 4-3-3 at times. In the current system, no. But whereas when he goes to a flat 4-3-3, he walks into that team.
I don't think they switch to 4-3-3 now.
They do.
I've
seen him do it.
No. What I'm saying is I don't think they switch to 4-3-3 now simply because of the success they've had with the back three. And that's why there's room. Wait. The reason why I think this is because they've been rumored and strongly linked with other centre backs. Do I think they signed Varane? No. But if we're talking about free, so let's not talk about what might happen. I'm talking current systems. In Chelsea's current system, with the back three, he doesn't start for Chelsea.
But that's what I just said. But just let me finish. Cool. So you're telling me they go through the whole season with playing back three? Even though they're in a game and it doesn't work and they need to change it tactically, they don't change it because it's a back three and it's worked for them in the Champions League.
Because I think
that's the point.
All right, my point is if they are changing it to go more attacking, they have a Kovacic there who's better. Who's better? What? Who's better going forward than Henderson as an attacking player? Yes. If I need to change a game in an attacking sense, I'm playing Kovacic over Henderson. Defensive sense, I'll put on Henderson. I think Henderson is defensively better than Kovacic, but I think Kovacic is better offensively than Jordan Henderson. So to me, like I said, with that, not what we think might happen because they may switch, they may not. In In a back three, I don't think.
I've just said this.
I don't think. And to reiterate it further, even if they do change to a 4-3-3, I think he goes out and gets another central midfield, and I don't think it's a Jordan Henderson.
Jordan, but the question was, would he play for Chelsea? Yes, he would. If they changed to a 3 during the game, he'd play.
But okay, but that's if they change it to a 3. So let's go on.
No, because they will change to a 3.
We don't know that for a fact.
He's been changing between the two since he came.
Yeah, we don't. No, we don't. But what's been their main formation? Their main formation has been a back 3. I've watched most Chelsea games. Their main formation, their primary formation is a back 3 against most teams.
No, it wasn't against who?
So it's also you're telling me a back 3 wasn't their main. So when
Tuchel came in,
was a back 3 their main formation during Tuchel's
against
reign?
who?
Against everybody. I'm saying from when Tuchel came in. No, Anthony, no. That's not what I'm saying. I said when Tuchel came, what formation has Tuchel played most for Chelsea? What is their primary? What is their primary formation?
The point that I'm making.
No. That's the no. Answer the question. What is their primary formation?
Let me answer the question.
I will in it. Go on. What's their primary formation? What formation did Chelsea play the most?
Now it's a back 3. However, what he was doing before the Champions League and before the last 5 games of the season, he was reverting between the back 3 and a 4-3-3. Because I can tell you the times when he's played Azpilicueta and Alonso as left back and right back. I can tell you the times when he's played Reece James and Azpilicueta as a left back. As a back 4.
Yeah, he's played it as a back 4, but my point still stands in a back 3 is their primary formation.
Now, so, I'm talking, but what I'm saying is
they played it the most. They played it most.
No, because you're acting like he's never played a back 4 and that he doesn't revert to a back 4.
No, I never said he doesn't revert to a back 4. What I said was, if you listen to what I'm saying, his main formation is a back 3. That's his primary formation.
Can I just make this point?
Is that a fact? No. Is that a lie or not? That's their primary formation is a back 3.
How have I just said yes now?
Yeah. So it is. So I'm just reiterating
can I make this point?
I'm going to that 1 sec. So I'm going off their primary formation. They play that more often than not. Do they switch it up? Yes. But the same way for United, 4-2-3-1 is our primary formation. Doesn't mean we don't switch up our formation. Absolutely not. But I'm talking primary formation. That was the original question. So in their primary formation that they play more often than not, Jordan Henderson does not start for Chelsea.
Can I just make this point?
Go on.
Right. Forget Jordan Henderson. Forget names. Forget. You run a team.
Yeah.
You've got your 2 players that sit in the midfield. You've won loads with it. However you want to dominate for the next couple of years. You realize that this system might be easily found out by other teams. So you might need to revert tactically to something.
Yeah, you change stuff up, 100%.
No, so then you change stuff up. However, 100%. When you change stuff up, you might come across someone who suits your midfield and suits the system that you're trying to play better than anybody, but the most luxurious signing. However, he will help you win games. Do you or do you not go with that option? Yes or no?
Yeah, you do. Of course you
That's the point I'm making.
You do. Well, that's besides, but my original question wasn't that. My original question wasn't, does he get into the squad if they switch formations? I'm talking, let me just reiterate this to make it clear for everyone else as well. I'm talking primary formations that teams play now.
No, but this is my point. As a manager, you don't have just one primary formation.
Wait. No, hold up.
Depending on your opponent.
Hold up. No.
Yes
hold
or
up. No, that is it. No, you do have one primary formation.
Yes or no?
No.
Yes or no?
No, you do have one primary formation.
No.
Chelsea's primary formation is a back 3. That's their primary formation. That's the formation they play more often than not. It don't mean they don't change it.
So they'll play that.
No, I never said that. No, that's not what I said.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's not what I said.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, if you let me finish, what I'm trying to say is you're trying to say that's their primary formation. No, that's his favoured formation with them at the moment, with the current squad of players that he's got. Yeah, However, he will not play that every game. He will switch formations depending on the opponent, depending on the opposition.
Sometimes, yes.
No, not to an extent. Come on.
No, sometimes he will, yeah. I just agreed with you. I said sometimes he will.
So when you're saying and you're batting the stick just to prove your point with primary formation, that's his favourite formation.
Yeah, see, even Jeremiah said it. Every team has a primary formation, and if we're playing that, you're trying to switch it around.
I'm not trying to switch it around. Listen to what I'm trying to say. Let me land. However, he gets a Haaland.
Yeah, you can still play a back 3.
No, but what I'm saying is he'll get one particular player, a personnel, which doesn't suit that formation, but he wants to get him into the team. Does he or does he not change that primary formation?
For Haaland, yes. For Haaland, yes.
This is what I've been trying to say. I said forget Jordan Henderson for a minute. Forget Jordan Henderson for a minute.
We went round the houses and back on it. I'm talking specifically, like I said, like Jeremiah said there, every manager has a primary formation. I never said managers don't switch.
Klopp's primary formation has always been 4-2-3-1, yes or no?
Yeah.
Has he played that with Liverpool?
Yeah, what has he played? What has he played?
It's 4-3-3.
Actually, yeah, you'll know better than me, actually, whether it's 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3.
It's 4-3-3.
Yeah, okay, so let's say, yeah, it's 4-3-3.
And then that's my point. So what I'm saying is Klopp's primary formation is 4-2-3-1. However, he doesn't play that with Liverpool.
Okay.
The personnel doesn't suit it.
Okay, so
that's the point
no. So if the personnel doesn't suit it, that's not his primary formation at Liverpool. His primary formation at Liverpool is 4-3-3.
Because he's historically done
no,
that.
No, forget.
Primary formation has always been a back three.
Forget the historical. I'm not talking about manager. No. I'm not talking about historical. I'm talking about you mixing it up and all that. All I'm saying is, what formation? This is a simple question. Let me answer the question.
5 minutes
ago. So I don't know why we're talking about other stuff and all these type of things and that. Tuchel at Chelsea plays a back three more often than not. I never said he doesn't change it. I never said he plays it against everyone. I never said any of them. But let me land, because I let you land. I never said any of that. All I said was his primary formation that he plays at Chelsea Football Club is a back three. I don't know the stats exactly, but more often than not, he plays that system. Does Jordan Henderson get into that team? No, he doesn't. Chelsea playing a back three. Hold up. Yeah. So let's move on to the next team. No, let's move on to the next team then. Because Henderson doesn't get into that team. All it was Henderson doesn't get into that team. Because we all know he doesn't. You know he doesn't. I know he doesn't. The chat knows he doesn't.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, go on. He don't get into that team.
Just give me a second. Because while we're talking about primary formations and stuff like that, it's the reason he plays that system is because we've talked about it. Chelsea are most suited with the current set of players that they've got. Yeah. Current set of players that they've 100%. Got suit that system. However, 100%. If Tuchel goes and recruits different types of players, and then he comes across, forget Jordan Henderson, a midfielder that can do something different in the midfield three to make it more sufficient in terms of sustaining attacks defensively, he will change that system.
Maybe.
No, it's not maybe.
How do we know for facts? We don't know. That's not a fact. We don't know that for a fact he's going to change the system. We don't know.
So you're telling me if he's got the stats in terms of ball recovery.
You know what's crazy? I think he recruits because I think that system was successful for him. No. Because I think that system was successful for Tuchel. I think, you know what I think he does? I think he recruits players for that system. That's why he's looking at Lukaku. Because I've said this. Yeah, Lukaku, let me land. Lukaku in a 2 is better than playing up in a 1. Haaland fits that system. All of the players they've been looking at, including centre-backs, fit that system. I think Tuchel sticks with that system. That's what I'm saying.
I think
because
he tries.
He's been successful.
I think he tries.
I think he sticks with it.
No, however, in terms of, we've seen it last season, injuries play a big part. In terms of players actually adapting to the system, play a big part. We miss up, you forgetting all that aspects of it. It's all well and good looking at these players going, yes, we can fit that system. Transfer-wise, we're going for the players to fit that system. However, there's going to be times in the season where
he will switch it up.
His main thought would be to go with that system, and it makes perfect sense for what he's done this summer. However, or this last season. However, what I'm saying is there might be something where he looks at it and thinks this system might not, it's not working as it was. I need to change it up. How do I change it up? And he looks at a midfielder. I'm not talking Jordan Henderson. I'm talking a midfielder where you go,
which is true. That could happen.
Let me look at this. So then he would revert the system. That's the whole point I was trying to make.
Okay, but the original question wasn't, does Jordan Henderson
and
get
I said no from the beginning.
No, let me land. I was not even going to say my original question wasn't just Jordan Henderson get into the Chelsea bench or the Chelsea squad. I'm talking, so let me clear this up so it's specific.
You've said that.
I'm talking,
with that.
So I'm talking, so all right, let's move on. So he doesn't get in Chelsea squad. That's one. Does he get into the Manchester United team?
Wait, doesn't get Chelsea squad.
Sorry, no, you don't get into the Chelsea first 11 with the current formation they play. Okay, so Chelsea, does he get into Manchester United's team? Yes, he does. Do I think he's that good? No, but he's still better than what we have. Does he currently get into United's team with the current squad what it is? Yes. Who's next off that? City's team? No. Who else we got?
Wait. You don't get into City's midfield.
Sorry, City's midfield. City, you don't get into. Where does he play in City's free?
Rodri. You really rate Rodri?
No, I don't rate Rodri highly, but I don't put Rodri as first team. I don't put Rodri.
He's their starting defensive midfielder. He's played more games than anyone.
Yeah, he has. But that again.
No. This is what I'm saying. He gets in over Rodri all day.
Well, okay, so he gets in with Rodri, but then all right. So I'll agree with that. Yes, he gets in with Rodri, but see how we've noticed how we're talking about the deficiencies. We're talking about him in top teams. We haven't spoke about how good he is. We're talking about the deficiencies of the 2 Manchester clubs.
Because no. Because I know how good he is. In terms of what he can bring to the game.
Is he an upgrade on Rodri? Yes, I would say he's an upgrade on Rodri because I think Rodri is a basic player. That's too far. He's a decent player. That's too harsh. Rodri's a decent player.
Premier League.
Fred, and I think City will look to upgrade there. So he gets in the City side based on Rodri's deficiencies. He gets into the Manchester United side on the deficiencies of McTominay and Fred. He doesn't get into the Chelsea side. Does he make the Spurs side?
Can I ask you a genuine question?
Does he make the Spurs side?
Yeah. Can I ask you a genuine question?
I'm asking legit. Because they play for... Actually, we don't know what Nuno's going to play, so that's really unfair.
Nuno will probably go to about 3. Realistically,
yeah, because I don't know Højbjerg and Ndombele, who else he's going to put in there. I do rate both of them.
Apparently trying to get rid of Ndombele, but can I ask you a question?
Very crazy. Go on.
Do you not think he improves the midfield when he goes in terms of what he brings and what he offers? This is just a genuine question.
What midfield? Who's?
In terms of the teams where we're saying that he fits in there and he will get in there.
Does he improve Manchester? Does he improve Manchester United's midfield? Yes, absolutely.
Does he not improve City's in terms of more efficient?
I don't think he makes a massive. I don't think he makes. Is he better? Yes. Does he make an improvement? Yes. Does he make a major improvement? No, I don't think it's significant. In City's midfield, absolutely not. No, because they're that well-oiled of a machine. I think they are. Chelsea's he doesn't get into. I think there's any team that is well-oiled, he doesn't match up against. Chelsea, like I said, he gets into Manchester United's team because of the deficiencies of our midfield players. He gets into City's midfield because of the deficiencies. We're not talking about him being better than. We're talking about the deficiencies of those teams. If you have two central midfielders who are quality, he doesn't get in.
Here's a question.
There isn't one team in Europe that has two quality central midfielders that he gets all free, whatever you want to call it, that he gets into.
Can I just say though?
Yeah, go on.
I made this point before you even started going down this tangent in terms of what teams he's getting, because I know you don't rate him as a player. However, I've made this perfectly clear that when we're talking about Jordan Henderson in terms of this kind of conversation, he's never going to get shining light because what he does goes under the radar. And secondly, because of the
mods on job, please, in the chat. Go on.
And secondly, because of the formation that he plays and the system that he plays.
Carry on.
And that's the point I've been trying to make. So it's like turning around saying, for example, look at Ronaldinho, for example, right? This might be a terrible analogy and a terrible example because Ronaldinho is a different class player in terms of Henderson. But in terms of, right, think of a basic number 10. One of the best number 10s in the world in terms of what they do, the most efficient, statistically the most impactful on the game. However, if that team doesn't play a number 10, obviously he's not going to get into there. So it's a stupid conversation. Do you get my point?
To an extent, my point is I just don't rate him highly, and this shows.
No. I get that.
Your club, your team like Liverpool are allowing potentially their club captain to leave tells me all I need to know.
No, because they're talking about potentially letting Salah go.
Well, that makes in Salah what? Not on a free though, is it? No, you're talking for a transfer fee,
but
right?
Regardless for a transfer fee.
You're talking transfer.
Yeah, but how much are you going to get for Salah in COVID times, really? Realistically?
Well, I think you lot are trying to go again. I think that's more bad business. I don't think there's any talk.
My point.
I don't think there's any talk of, no, here's the difference with that though. I don't think there's any talk of Salah going on a free ever. I don't think that ever happens on a free.
There's no talk of Henderson going for a free. Talk about him going this summer.
Yeah, I will mod you, man. I'll mod you 100%.
The point that I'm trying to make is all this comes down to is terrible business by FSG.
It is. Well, that's awful. My point. Like even him going PSG, whose midfield needs a revamping, he'll get in there maybe because he's going to go in a back three because of the lack of quality. That's my point. Is you're only getting in other midfielders in Europe because of the lack of quality.
Right, can we just cut that out? So Jordan Henderson has no quality.
Never said that. That's how you're taking it. I never said he has no quality.
No. Because I'm going off what you're saying. You're saying that they have a lack of quality. And that's the reason why
what I'm saying is, yes, that's a fact. That's not an opinion. Name a midfield at a top European club right now where we both me and you rate the two central midfielders and he gets in with their current manager and a current system they play. We spoke about the two Manchester clubs. What did we say? As soon as I said, so he doesn't get in City's midfield, so he's not better than Rodri because Rodri is not of a certain level. Manchester United midfield because McTominay and Fred are not of a certain level. When you go to Chelsea and there's two midfielders of a certain level, he doesn't get in. That's a non-conversation. That's not even a debate. He doesn't get in ahead of Jorginho or Kante with the current system they play. And that's my point is, and that's the same for everywhere across Europe. That's every team in Europe. What top team does he get into with their current system?
But my point,
and that's not me saying he's, and that's not. And let me just repeat this. That's not me saying I think he's bad. I'm just saying he's not of a certain level. He's a decent player, very good leader. That's it.
My point has always been this: what he would do in terms of
trying to get you lot modded as well.
In terms of experience, big game management, in terms of his style of play, his tenacity, in terms of his leadership on the pitch, he transforms most teams he goes to without a shadow of a doubt. Easily. Even Chelsea at the moment. He would transfer.
I don't think he gets on the pitch.
Mentality, he would transform that.
I don't think he gets on the pitch.
How does he not get on the pitch?
No, in terms of, let me repeat that. In terms of the first team, he's not on to me, he doesn't get in. I'm saying, like I said, name me a top midfield, name me whether it's 3 or 2, a top team in Europe where he gets in that have midfielders of a certain quality. Chelsea, we've already established he doesn't. City, we established yes because of Rodri's deficiencies. Manchester United because of Fred and McTominay's.
Flawless. That's the point that I'm making. Is I've just said, do you not think Henderson's got quality? However,
I think he's decent.
Every single time,
very overrated.
However, every single time when it comes down to it, and the reason why he's getting into these clubs isn't because of his quality, it's always because they've got deficiencies. But yeah, I'm talking about what qualities he would bring to that team.
Okay, and the thing is, that's my point, is them qualities he brings to the team, I'm not even disputing. What I'm saying is them qualities he brings to the team, as good as they are, because they're good, I'm not disputing that, because I do believe he is a leader and all of those things. What I'm saying is, yeah, I'm trying to get you lot modded as well. What I'm saying is that he doesn't get, those qualities are not enough to take him over the top. That's why he doesn't get into Chelsea's team right now. That's why. He doesn't get into Chelsea's team right now, because them qualities that you said he has, which I'm not disputing, and that's my point.
From the beginning.
Yeah, I can't mod you from here. I'm trying to get you modded as well.
However, system-wise, if you change the system, all day he does, but they're not going to change the system yet. If you go to a midfield three, depending on the opposition he gets in, and this is the point I was trying to make.
That's a midfield three. They go to a 4-2-3-1, he doesn't get it.
But you get the point that I'm trying to make to you, though. So this is why I said to you before you tried making this conversation, it was a pointless conversation to have, because it doesn't prove anything, it doesn't show anything.
Well, it shows his lack of quality.
No, that's my point. I've literally just said to you, do you not think he's got quality? And then suddenly now it's a lack of quality.
No, you're mistaken.
And this is
what I'm saying. Hey, you look, where else do you get shows like this?
You see what I've got to deal with? Have you seen what I've got to deal with? I'm trying to have this debate, and Flores is arguing me from behind the camera, still trying to, like, you don't get this entertainment anywhere else. You don't get this entertainment anywhere else.
Obviously, people, everyone who's in the chat, everyone who's listening in, yeah, I can't mod you from here. So obviously, I sent a message to the boss man to mod you lot in it. I can't mod you lot from here.
Finally, yeah, I'm up to date with the.
As I was saying, it's not his when I say his lack of quality, that doesn't mean I'm saying he's a bad player. I'm saying his lack of quality is why he doesn't get in. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think he's a bad player.
No. What I'm saying is, for example, if you're at a Real Madrid with a prime Xavi Alonso or a Barcelona with a prime Xavi and Iniesta, obviously you're not going to get in because the quality is completely different. However, I'm talking in terms of what he brings, Premier League experience, in terms of if, for example, there's a big game and he's going away to Old Trafford, etc., and he's with Chelsea, then obviously he's going to. You see what I've got to deal with on it? Where are you going to get this entertainment from? Mods, obviously, we are trying to sort it out, so I do apologise. Just bear with us. Let me know what questions you've got whilst we're trying to get this sorted. Let me know if you've got any questions for me, Flawless, that you want us to answer. If you've seen a piece of news that you want us to talk about. Obviously, we're going to talk more transfer news in terms of Varane, in terms of Manchester City's business, Chelsea business, which we're going on to. But this is kind of an open forum for you guys in terms of what you want us to talk about. If there's any topics you want to bring to the table, bring them to the table. Like, you, for those that have rocked with us from the beginning, like, you know how in tune we are with the comments and how much it means to us and how much we want this to be an open forum and always feel like you can have conversations and we'll stop what we're doing, etc., to answer your questions. Like, that's just the way we roll it from a third eye view. So if you do have any questions, anything you want me and Flores to answer, let us know. Just drop it in the comments. We'll talk about it. What?
Just sorting that out, people. That's why I chipped off literally in it, because Boss Man is
losing the argument.
Yeah, sure, in it. Like, I was trying to get mud.
Greatest midfielder.
Okay, but yeah, we'll move off with the Jordan Henderson stuff because this guy a joker. But yeah, that is something that we will come to a head. Like I said, I just don't rate him that highly, in it, man. I know you rate him highly. Where do you want to go from here? Let's speak of it because we were talking Haaland and we mentioned Chelsea. So let's talk about that, because that is potentially one of Liverpool's rivals. Do you think Haaland goes to Chelsea? I'll ask you two questions. Do you think Haaland goes to Chelsea, one? And number two, if he does go, how do you see that impacting Chelsea?
One, I don't think they get him.
Okay, go into that first. Why don't you think it happens?
I think for a team like Borussia Dortmund, yes, they are a selling club. But to lose both Sancho and Haaland in the same summer is crazy. The only way they're going to do it is if it's an astronomical amount of money, which Chelsea would be willing to pay. However, I just don't see them doing it, especially with everything that's gone on with financial fair play and how they're tightening everything back up. And
let me just repeat this. Hey, Gabriel, Emery, you are a mod. Jeremy thinks football, you are also a moderator. Chris M, you're a moderator also. I'm trying to think who else is mods. Yeah, so you three have all been added to mod. 100%. But yeah, sorry to cut you off.
I was just saying, like, I just don't think it's going to happen this summer. And if it does, it's going to be, we're talking like 190, 200 million, which I just don't think in current COVID times teams are going to pay. Even if you've got the money like Chelsea, I just don't see it happening.
Okay. You don't think Chelsea? Do I see it up? Because Roman Well, I've heard from the Chelsea sources
I know
that
he's
I know
a big fan.
that Roman specifically, Roman Abramovich, for those that don't know, specifically wants Haaland, and he's fronting up the deal. Yeah, so the fact, and it's glad that Prime's here. Prime says strong, flawless, you both good. Hope you blessed, bro. Prime, give us your thoughts in the comments on Haaland, and also Chelsea fans as well. I specifically want Chelsea fans' thoughts on this. But yeah, as I was saying, do I believe it happens? Yes, simply because Roman's involved. If it wasn't Roman Abramovich doing it and he didn't personally want him, I think the deal's there to be done. You say about Dortmund losing both Sancho and Haaland in the same window, which you don't want to do. But does Haaland not have a release clause that activates at the end of this coming season where he can go? I think it's 62 million or
75 million.
75 million. So you don't want to lose. You either get the money now, or you lose him for 75 million at a later date. And Stroll, we know, and Dortmund, we know they can replace players as well.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying is it depends on the bid. Me personally, based on what I've been told, what kind of figures have been touted about, I just don't see it happening. It's an astronomical amount of money. Especially this summer, COVID time.
I think just because it's everything you said that I agree with.
However,
it's just Roman.
However, January.
You think they go for him in January?
Potentially a different story.
Even when he'll be cup tied via Champions League.
Cup tied. The cup tied thing's gone now.
Oh, you can switch. I didn't know you could. When did they do that? You can. I didn't know you could switch. I thought you were cup tied once you played in the Champions League.
No, because it was 3 or 4 players that have been signed since. So, for example, who was it now?
Peter, let me know, my brother, in the chat. Salute to my guy Peter. Why you think it will happen as well? Chelsea fans specifically in the chat. I want to know from you lot why you think it happens. I think it happens as well. Haaland will not join Chelsea though. Stroll, I thought January as well. Since last season, that rule has changed. So it's since last season. Okay.
See, this is what I'm saying.
People are telling me you learn something new every day. Go on.
I can imagine it in January. Because then that gives Dortmund an extra couple of months in terms of looking to get someone replaced. However, yes, they would have known that there would potentially be bids, but to lose Sancho, and they knew they were going to lose Sancho at this point.
Yes.
And Dortmund have proved to be stubborn in terms of we're not getting what we want from this deal. We'll wait.
Well, why would you wait?
Because then
for 75 million?
No, because then that gives you a better option in terms of look what's available. What can we do with that 75 million? What can we turn that into? What can we do with this amount of money? That's why Dortmund are an efficient club more than anything. It's never always about the money with them. It's in terms of what's right for them. Not money, what's right for them. So if it's not right for them and the deal doesn't make sense, I don't think it happens. But what I'm saying is, with what I'm being told, what's right for them is a ridiculous amount of money, which potentially Chelsea would pay, but there'd be a lot of eyes on him. I'm talking like close to 180, 200 million, which is insane. To
me, like, I get what you're saying with Dortmund, but it's like if he has a release clause of 75 million, 70 million, whatever it is, you're going to get more for it now. I just think because Roman Abramovich is heading it up, that's why it will happen. I'm trying to kill flies, people like Mr. Miyagi, and I missed.
But at the same time, is the amount of money they'd lose if they lost Haaland and didn't qualify for the Champions League outweighs that.
Fair point. Prime says, personally, I don't want Haaland. I want Kane. From a Chelsea viewpoint, Roman really wants Haaland, so he's the one personally funding the deal. He also says, however, with all the money involved, this will break our wage structure. We've been so focused on Haaland, we blocked ourselves from getting Lukaku. Peter says, Roman wants him. He wants a fair. I just think it will happen. All right, two Chelsea fans. Go on. Oh, so let's say the Haaland deal goes through. So let's say hypothetically the deal goes through and they sign him. How do you see him fitting in at Chelsea? And what does he do to them as a team, as a squad? Title ambitions in the Premier League, Champions League ambitions, etc.
Here's the problem, right? Team chemistry is a big thing.
True.
Massive thing. So when you're a team like Chelsea that's still on a high in terms of Champions League success and what that does to your morale as a team and the togetherness in the squad, you know what I mean? Yeah. You then add in a prolific goal scorer, yes. One whose potential is through the roof, without question. But you put him on a ridiculous wage structure. Instantly, people are upset. Instantly. Without question. The big hitters at Chelsea are like, well, wait a minute. Why am I? All right,
let's go into it. Who are the big hitters? I'm not even saying you're wrong here. I want to explore this further. Who do you think are the big hitters at Chelsea? Who comes under that bracket? Thiago Silva. And that's Blaqueta. Kante, Jorginho. Havertz, okay.
I'm trying to think who else is in the squad.
I'm trying to think because when you said it, my mind kind of went blank because Kante don't seem like the type. Thiago Silva's just got there.
No. But this is the point.
Jorginho,
No,
I could see that.
The point. We are now in a world where this is predominantly done by agents.
True.
So it might not be Kante. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it would be Kante. That's what I was just asking.
However, Jorginho's agent thinks, I've just won Euros.
True.
You're telling me that he offers more than what I can do. Where's he getting the service from? Because this service is coming from me. You're telling me that I'm not valued like that.
Yeah.
You're telling me you put him on an extra 200 grand more than what I'm on. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's go talk to Chelsea. And then their wage structure goes through the roof. Me saying that, I think, one, the
Flyers left the building as well, people, thank God.
I think it would be a phenomenal signing. But I just think that
he has got a question for you. He says, are we talking wages or egos? I think Stroh is talking about both. So he's talking about if Haaland comes in, he'll be on a massive wage, which Prime touched on, and then egos maybe.
What that does to the squad.
But Chelsea doesn't seem, to me, when I look at it, Chelsea don't really seem to have. There might be some hidden ones, but from the outside looking at it, look at it and go, that will cause a major problem there.
No, I'm sorry. Wage structure. That would stink up a fuss like you wouldn't believe.
Because big hitters, Silva, Kante, Jorginho, Mount, basically any important player will demand more money. But if you deliver, I think also, if Haaland comes in and delivers, which I believe he would for Chelsea,
and then
I think players are just. I think that quietens that down.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
No, it would quieten it slightly. However, they'd still be looking at it like, well, wait a minute, you're telling me I've not contributed.
Yeah, I
get your point. And especially the agents, and you know what these agents are like these days is then there's unrest. One bad thing here, you don't understand what that can do when you're challenging for a title in a Champions League.
Yeah,
unrest in that squad can kill that instantly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
Because you need the synergy, you need the togetherness, you need the when we go to battle together. You need that kind of morale. And the second that's off, there's a problem. And that's my only thing. Whereas if you got Harry Kane, for example, that's a different conversation. Different kettle of fish.
All right, well, that's what I was going to go into. I'll give my thoughts on the Haaland deal quickly. I was like, let me get yours. Yeah, do I believe Chelsea signed Haaland? Yes, like I said, for the reasons I give. I legit believe that Roman's fronting it up. That's the player he wants. Peter touched on it. All we've heard with Chelsea is Haaland. Like Lukaku, like as a backup option, but I'm saying in terms of players they've been linked with, it's legit been Haaland for the whole summer, and Roman's fronting that up. He wants him. He wants the Champions League. He wants the Premier League. So I believe it happens right now. Do I believe he's the player to take them to that next level? And we're talking, not to go back into it, I was talking about Jordan Henderson, and I was mentioning that. I think Haaland takes Chelsea to a next level. I think the manager they've got, Tuchel, impressed me when he came in.
I take Chelsea to the next level in terms of finishing from Werner.
Yeah, you're a good finisher though. You know what I'm saying? Like
and I stay on side. Yeah, so that's not really like, come on.
One thing I'd say, no, but all jokes aside, I think Kane does as well. But that's all Chelsea to me were missing. And they're riding the wave of momentum, having won the Champions League. They're riding the wave of that.
And that's my point, is to play devil's advocate. Signing a player like Haaland, yes, it's a phenomenal signing.
I think it's phenomenal.
Yes, in terms of what he can do, but the back end of it is what I'm saying in terms of you don't know what kind of unrest that can cause. You don't know if players even know that it's about to happen in terms of already getting onto their agents or their agents getting onto Chelsea. Like, wait a minute, we need to restructure this. We need to have a look at this. And then when they don't do it, then they start kicking up a fuss thinking, well, and then you got player unrest. Look at the Carlos Tevez situation.
True, it can happen.
And this is what I'm saying. It's like, this is, so when we are talking about the Haaland, I think it's a phenomenal deal. However, these things do need to be talked about and looked at, because this could have a massive impact. 100%. And that would be a detriment to Chelsea's title race. Do I think it would happen like that? Probably not. But there's a scenario where this could happen and it could cause a massive unrest in the squad. But I mean, look at Arsenal. Aubameyang's wage.
Yeah,
the way that Ozil was treated. The whole dressing room was split 50-50.
Against Arsenal.
And you can tell.
Yeah. I get what
Can I just say, before we carry on, the fact that Prime are doing an all or nothing with Arsenal is the greatest thing Amazon Prime have ever done in world football.
100%.
We'll come back onto that.
Yeah, Straw and Flawless, who do you two think Chelsea should bring in as a 9? Yeah, I'm saying, if I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm saying Kane is the better fit than Haaland.
This is what I'm saying.
I think Kane, but that's not a shot
at Haaland.
I just think
Kane's got Premier League
experience, and that's where Chelsea are trying to go. That's why I think Kane's a better fit for Chelsea than he is Manchester City. Because Manchester City aren't trying to win the Premier League. They're trying to go again in the Champions League. I'm not saying Kane's not top quality, because I think he is, but I don't think he's the player to take them over the top in the Champions League. I could be wrong, But I think Kane could definitely be the player to take Chelsea over the top in the Premier League because he brings you 25 goals minimum in that side.
And he stays on side.
So that's what I would say. That's what I would say on that. Yeah, he transforms them, Haaland. And as a rival fan, I wouldn't want them to get any 9.
Do you think he stays there for long?
Probably not. It's probably a stopgap.
That's what I mean.
4 or 5 years. But you would take... I've seen one of the greatest stopgaps in terms of Cristiano Ronaldo when we signed him. You take that 5-6 years. 100%.
Ronaldo there for that long?
Ronaldo was at United for 6 years.
Yeah, he signed in 2003.
Yeah, he was 6 years. And I think, was it in Fergie's book when he wrote, and he said Kairos told him we'll be lucky to have him for 5 years, and we got him for 6. And people like don't rate Ronaldo because of that. I will take a 6-year period knowing where a stopgap. If it brings
anyone would take a 6-year period of Cristiano Ronaldo.
And that's my point. And Haaland could have a similar. I'm not saying he is Cristiano, don't get me mistaken, but he could have an impact of that where Chelsea win. Say in a 6-year period, Chelsea win 4 league titles and another Champions League.
No one's debating it. No one's ever looking at that transfer. But this is the problem: is if it goes wrong in terms of team morale, in terms of his first season, the amount of pressure that's on it. If he doesn't come out,
Lewis said this. That's why he said he preferred Lukaku, which was crazy to me. It was mad when he said that. I couldn't believe it. But he said that Haaland has to come in and hit the ground running for, say it was 150 million.
Because like I kind of understand where he's coming from the Lukaku point of view. Less pressure.
It's less pressure. I just don't get it because I just don't think he's the guy to take. Boy, that's just me.
No. But what I'm saying is in terms of less pressure, in terms of you might get an overall better product in terms of the fact that there's less pressure and there's no, do you know what I mean? Whereas like, yes, Haaland does well. Haaland's a phenomenal talent. However, we don't know what this kind of pressure will do to him. When you get slapped with a £200 million transfer fee, that's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
And look how long it took Havertz to get rid of the 90 million one.
Yeah.
Werner's not even got over the 60 million one.
That's true. And Peter and Prime, you've both been modded as well. Letting my dons know.
So it's like, so there's that aspect. He's still young. He's still learning his craft. Yeah. Whereas Lukaku's are more polished. Do you know what I mean? He knows what his strengths and weaknesses are, so you can build a team around him.
But he's just not.
No. I'm not saying he's anywhere near the player. However, what I'm saying is, from a Chelsea point of view, I can understand why some Chelsea fans would be like, "I'd rather take Lukaku at this point."
Rather stick with Werner if I'm them. But that's just me. Like people keep talking. I've watched Lukaku play, and people were like, "Yeah, he got so much better in Italy." Blah blah. But yeah, he's playing in the front two, which helps him. And I watched him in the Euros, and them Lukaku tendencies are still there.
Oh yeah, but you know that anyway.
Yeah, but people are trying to tell me he's improved massively with his hold-up play and his touch in the eye. So his hold-up play went from poor to average. He's still not good enough for where a Chelsea are trying to go to.
No, and I agree. But what I'm saying is I understand where Lewis is coming from in terms of that particular argument.
Yeah.
But come on. Well, if Haaland's available, you get Haaland.
Well, yeah, it has gone. We've touched on him multiple times. Harry Kane, it has all gone quiet on there. Like I expected that to be the biggest talking point of the summer, and it's not been gone.
Did you not hear the director of football at Tottenham now?
No, what did he say?
He came out with a stereotypical comment, which makes you think that there's probably something in it. Where they're not going in terms of, listen, he's a great professional. We can't wait to see him. But when you read between the lines, it's like there's definitely something going on. There's definitely something going on. Because you know, right? Here's the problem. If Harry Kane would have ended the Euros the same way he started, I don't think he goes anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Bad Euros, bad run of form.
Yeah.
Not in a good place. He's going to cost you 100 and odd million. Teams will look at that, will thinking, well, Haaland's there.
Yeah.
Mbappe's there. Why am I going to spend this money on Kane? Yes, he's Premier League proven, but did you see the Euros? He's just that. Whereas when he started to pick up form and he started to have an impact on games and he was starting to play like the Harry Kane that we know.
100%.
Everything's then back on the table. Mm-hmm. And for a Manchester City, where you look at them and you think, imagine Harry Kane on the end of a Kevin De Bruyne cross.
Oh, yeah. He scores
and then
loads of goals.
And then you look at the impact that he has on Raheem Sterling game. You're telling me I can get out Raheem Sterling just by putting Harry Kane there?
I get your point. He scores like, let's go mistaken, any 9 like Kane, whether he goes City, whether he goes Chelsea, 100%. I'm just surprised it's not the hottest topic of, and you're talking arguably the best striker in the league and one of the best in Europe. It's just gone, and we know he wants away, and it's just gone completely quiet. Like I've not heard anything.
Because
I heard anything at all.
I think
that surprised me.
But I think that's Harry Kane.
Go on, what do you mean?
As a person, the professional that he is.
Still, I wouldn't put it on him. What I'm saying is I just expected more. Like, we've not even heard any links. Has there been a bid? Like, there's been not even a bid. There's been no talks of a bid.
Yeah, I've heard more about
which is
grealish to City than I have Kane to City.
And we've heard more about Haaland to Chelsea than the game. Like, there's nobody, and there's been no links. There's no bids. There's no swap deals. Even United, nothing.
And this is the point, right?
And we get linked with everybody. Large up YG in the building. Big up my big bro Mikey as well, who we need to get in here. Go on, carry on.
This is kind of last chance saloon in terms of Harry Kane, in terms of a big move.
He needs to move now. Yes, I 100% agree with you. He needs to move now. And you have to throw it. You have to kick up a fuss and throw a transfer request, all that stuff.
And that's the reason why I think it's gone quiet.
Go on, why?
Because I think clubs look at Tottenham and Daniel Levy and think he's a nightmare to deal with. So then you're looking at Harry Kane thinking you need to make the move. So when I turned around and said that, the reason I think it's gone quiet is because of the professional that Harry Kane is. That's a detriment to him in this scenario. If his Christian Eriksen, his transfer request was in before he even stepped foot on the Euros. Harry Kane isn't like that though, and you know he's not. You can just tell that by
that's not his character.
And that's my point. Yep. And that's what's going to end up killing him with this transfer. He puts his transfer request in, that transfer gets done within the next week. Done.
Yeah, definitely, because it's like, sell me now, I don't want to play. Like, he has to do that.
He's Manchester City's new number 10.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's his character. And I think that's the problem. So then what's happening is you're then relying on Manchester City to go and negotiate with Daniel Levy, which will then have more bargaining power in terms of he's going to demand a higher fee because Harry Kane's not put a transfer request in. Yeah. Problem is Manchester City are looking at it thinking, I'm not paying that money.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I've said this, Kane to City is a better move for Kane than it is for Manchester City.
But then what I'm saying is if Harry Kane puts that transfer request in, there's an extra 40, 50 million taken off the bid alone. Because they know that he's going to want to go anyway. So it's a case of we don't want to lose him on a free. Just get rid of him. And this is what I'm saying. The cards are in Harry Kane's hands. Yeah. How this summer goes is all dependent on how he acts. My issue is, and not my issue is, my thought process is, I just think he's the utmost professional. And I just think because Tottenham's his boyhood club, I don't think he wants to be the one that has to make that move.
You're going to have to.
No, I know, but I just don't think he does.
No, I get what you're saying.
And that's his biggest problem. But the fact that it's gone quiet, I'm not surprised because I expect that from Harry Kane. And right or wrong, it's going to be difficult. And this is what I'm saying is regardless if you're a Manchester City or Chelsea and you've got unlimited amount of money, dealing with Daniel Levy is a nightmare for anyone. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're not lying. You're not lying.
Secondly, just for even coming to the table, he's slapping an extra 50 million on it.
We hear about it because it is their prized asset. That's why Kane has to do more. I get what you're saying. Where else we going to go to? All right, let's talk about Manchester United because we did mention, obviously, the Sancho deal has been done. Gassed about it. Yes, it's looking like Rashford. Well, he was 50. I thought he was having the surgery, but now it's 50-50. But we'll talk hypothetically.
How is it 50-50? What's wrong with this kid?
Ollie, innit? It's Ollie, man. Like, Ollie's talking about, we don't know yet. We're going to see. It's like, yo, just get the surgery.
He needs the surgery.
Like, give him the surgery. Yes.
You've got Sancho. You can last.
You've got Sancho. You've got Greenwood. You've got Diallo. You've got Pogba.
Right, so August, September, October.
So he's back November times.
2 months.
Yeah, he's back. Like,
what are you going to do? Risk losing him for 4 months, 5 months because you've not let him get the surgery and he gets injured. Yeah. This is the same injury which when he went into a 50-50 with Jordan Henderson, that's been there since. Do you know when that was? When we drew 1-0 when we were going for the title. Not the season we won it. Not last season. The season before that.
Was that the one?
Wait, it was 1-1 at Old Trafford and Adam Lallana scored the last minute equaliser.
Yeah, that's taking it back. Did we not have it?
That was the tackle that did it. Yeah. Jordan Henderson that day.
That's mad. That
2.5 years and this kid.
And he's still injured. Yeah. Rashford just needs to take the surgery and take the time off. Rest.
He needs to.
Rest. Should have rested from the Euros.
There's a reason. Sorry to interrupt. There's a reason why Cristiano Ronaldo is lasting as long as he's lasted because he looks after his body and he knows when he's injured and he needs to take a rest. And it's not very often that he's injured, but when he does, he makes sure he does everything to get back. Not play on an injury because you're not going to look at Wayne Rooney for crying out loud. He burnt himself out playing when he was injured. Look at Michael Owen. Yeah. He played in a preseason game because Gerard Houllier turned around to him. This, bear in mind, this was 4 or 5 weeks after he did his hamstring away at Leeds. And Gerard Houllier came in and said, look, I'm under a bit of pressure. We're playing Oaks Air tomorrow. Can you play? He's like, I'm on the treatment table. My hamstring's like literally on a thread. He's like, I need you to play. And he played. And now look at him. Look what happened when he came back from Real Madrid. He was never the same player.
Right, you can't do that. Look at him talking about looking after your body. Arjen Robben's a prime example. That's why he managed to play.
You have to look after yourself.
Yeah. So I look after yourself, you do. So it's like, as a Manchester United fan, I'm like, yo, just take the surgery. You've got Pogba, you got Sancho, you got Greenwood, Diallo. United are stacked now in them wide. Martial can play wide left as well. Stacked in them wide positions. Just go get your rest and then come back because United are going to need you. Whether you rate Marcus Rashford or not, United are going to need you.
Because that's when you look at Ollie and think, go on then, he's not here. Let's see what you tactically do. Let's see how good you are.
Yeah, it's because Ollie just relies on, again, individual brilliance FC. And if you are new to the show, when we talk about Manchester United, me being a Manchester United fan, that is one thing I mention on a regular is us being individual brilliance FC. Like my bro Tuck says, cardio and vibes. That's what we are, cardio and vibes.
But this is the thing, right? I'm not a Manchester United fan. Never have been, never will be. The amount of respect and admiration I've got for Marcus Rashford, not just as a footballer, but as a man, as a player, especially after everything he's done over the last season, everything he went through in terms of what happened after the Euros. I want to see him thrive. I want to see a healthy Marcus Rashford for England. And you're not going to get that if you keep playing while you're injured.
100%.
What's going on at Manchester United? Who's managing this?
This is Manchester United. In the words of my brother Saeed, this is Manchester United Football Club.
Yeah, but this is scary. Like, he's one of your prime assets. Do you understand how marketable this kid is?
100%. I know I've seen all this. This is why I'm just cool, calm, and collected about it. This is why, whether it's on here...
This is where someone senior, Solskjaer, whoever it is, needs to grow a set and go, no, you're getting your operation and it's being done. You're coming back in October and we go again. Because we'll look after the league table until this point. When you come back, you then kick us on. I don't get it. 2.5 years. November 2019. Or 2018, it was one of them. It was definitely November. 1-1, Adam Lallana.
I do remember the game, yeah. Because Rojo was playing.
Should not be happening.
I think he lost Lallana for the goal. And even Peter says it. The strange thing is United's opening fixtures aren't even that tough. Rashford should sit now. Yes, he should. And what we'll do is new segment on the show, people. The last half an hour. So from 8:30 to 9 p.m., we'll answer any of your questions. It is a Q from a third eye view Q&A. From a third eye view Q&A. So make sure you get your questions ready. And we'll be doing that the half an hour. So from 8:30 till 9 p.m., we'll do that the last half an hour. But yeah, Rashford should sit.
20th of October 2019.
There you go. Tells you all you need to know. And make sure you lot get the likes up as well on the YouTube video. Whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back, hit the like button and subscribe to the Pi Radio YouTube. Also, make sure you subscribe to Sarcasm City TV as well. But yeah, off the Rashford, I'm gassed about Sancho. Where will he play? Where will he fit in? I don't know. The front three I want to see is Sancho from the left, Greenwood from the right, and Martial up front. That's what I want to see.
What about Cavani?
No, I think Cavani is different horses for courses. I think Cavani's better off the bench. That's not a shot at him. Like, if we chasing the game and we're having lots of possession and lots of the ball, 20 minutes to go, that's when you put Cavani on.
Away game in Europe, who would you go with?
Depends. Are we going to counter-attack or are we going to dominate the ball?
Just in general.
Say we're playing in the group stages against weaker opposition, but, it's Manchester United, so we lost to a Turkish side, so, who hadn't won. I think they finished 17th in their league this season or something. I'm saying we're going away.
Was that their
first? Yeah, it was their first Champions League win. Their first.
That could only happen to
our parents are older than them as a club.
That could only happen to an English side.
That was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's what it can happen to. But we move in it. There's still people here who are Ole in, but we move. As I was saying, where was I at? So yeah, away game. It depends if we're going with the counter attack. Martial. If we're going to dominate the ball a little more, probably Cavani. But Martial's my number 9. So I'm probably going with him for most games. He's my number 9. He's my go-to guy. His last chance saloon for him this season because he had a poor.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to touch upon.
Go on.
Martial.
Talk about it.
The talent is so abundantly clear.
100%.
Is it a case of mismanaged? Is it a case of him as a player needing to do more? Is it a bit of both? Because when you look at you guys this season, right, you're talking about Trippier as well, which you're going to come on to. That can then revert you to a back three pretty easily. Then you look at systems and how would you suit that system and what would Manchester United do and stuff like that. And then you're looking like, I think Sancho from the left is dangerous.
100%.
I think you then add someone on the right in terms of, depending on who, like you could, Rashford when he comes back.
Rashford can play from the right. Diallo, Greenwood can play from there. You could even play Sancho from the right and have Pogba from the
Greenwood, left. Do you know what I mean? And
so many options.
And then you got Martial. It's like, with this, there's no reason you shouldn't be firing. All the the pieces are there in an attacking sense.
Yeah.
So I think this is a big season for Martial. Massive season.
It is a massive season. And to answer the question you asked about Martial, is all of the above. Is it on the manager? Yes. Is it on the other players around him? Yes. Is it on the service he gets? Yes. Is it on him as well? Yes. They're all capable. It's not one thing with Martial. It's not solely all on him, but that doesn't mean he's blameless. Because I hold him to a high standard. You need to do more. Yes, the service up to you isn't great. Fully understand that. But we know what you're capable of doing.
I say this all the time when I talk about Martial. I will never forget the 3-1 game at Old Trafford when he makes his debut.
Yep.
He scores that goal.
Yes.
You then look at him. Skinhead, French, from the left. I think these are just going to sign another Thierry Henry. And this guy's just going to dominate for years. And for whatever reason, from an outside point looking in, the talent's there. It's just not worked. Do I think that's 100% on him? No, I agree with everything that you're saying. I think it's all of the above. But there comes a point as a player at Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, in the Premier League, where you've got to stand and be counted. And I think this is that season. Because I think if not, where'd you go from to your career here? Like, where'd you go now?
What's crazy is that he doesn't get the same time that Luke Shaw gets, but we move in that. We're going to talk about that because Luke Shaw has been poor for longer than Martial has. And has
when did
one
you
good
sign
season.
Luke Shaw? It was
years ago because it was under Van Gaal.
2017?
It was under Van Gaal. So yeah, you're talking 2017, maybe before that. Someone in the comments let us know when Luke Shaw was signed to United, but it was years ago. And he was signed when 30 million was a lot of money. It's not like 30 million now. And he's had, including this season, maybe 2 good seasons. When was it?
2014.
There we go. So we're talking 7 years. And he's had 2 good seasons. Martial's been here, much younger, no service, and people forget about adapting and coming over as a teenager. And he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt, but Luke Shaw will.
But Havertz got the benefit of the doubt.
You reckon Havertz did or didn't?
Did?
You reckon he did? Fair point.
How often did you see him criticised last season for his performances?
Yeah, that's true. I get what you're saying to an extent, yeah. People call Martial moody and lazy because he hardly smiles. People are just stupid. In that sense, yeah, I don't care about your persona. But we've spoken about this and how you look like. People love kiss the badge merchants, innit? Kiss the badge, knee slides. Like, yeah, we run joke about it, but that's what people want. Peter said it to me. We was on a live stream and he said, if I was a manager in the Premier League, I'd do all that passion stuff. You know what I'm saying? Running up and down the touchline, kissing the badge, cheering on the fans.
But at the same time, you've got to be winning. You've got to be winning.
You have to be winning. But what he was saying is, even if you're a poor manager doing that, that gives you more time. With certain fans, it'll give you more time. Here's the thing is, if Martial was like that, he'd still get criticized, but nowhere near to the extent that he does. But because he's Martial in the manner in which he does, that's why McTominay doesn't get. McTominay is a prime example. He's our worst central midfielder. But if you look at the criticism our central midfielders receive, he's not the worst. Pogba probably gets it. You got Paul Scholes on TV talking about a midfield of McTominay, Fred, and Bruno, and he said verbatim, and I love Paul Scholes. I'm not sure if Paul Pogba walks back into this team. What? Excuse me?
Can I just say?
Excuse me. I was like, I couldn't believe my ears. He said with a straight face, he wasn't even joking or being sarcastic.
From a midfielder of his ability.
Crazy.
And then you watch Pogba with France. The passes. That pass against Germany.
Ridiculous.
I'm sorry.
Ridiculous.
The camera didn't even see the left back coming into the play.
No. Ridiculous.
The goal he scores against Switzerland.
Yep.
The goal he scores in the World Cup final. Let me just repeat myself. The goal that he scored in the World Cup final. We're talking about a man that led that team talk in the World Cup final. That's a leader.
100%.
So you look at that. You don't put him in Manchester United and it's not working, but yet Pogba's the issue.
Well, that's my point is if Pogba was kissing the badge, knee slides, got his shots day, all that type of stuff, he would get more leeway. It doesn't mean he wouldn't be criticized. He'll get more leeway. This is why Scott McTominay gets...
But I don't even think that's the problem.
Scott McTominay gets more leeway.
I think it's deeper than that.
There's more to it. We obviously know there's more to it, but I'm just using it from the footballing side why he's criticized. That gives you more time. Even Peter says that he said throwing some knee slides and chest bumping with the winds, and I guarantee this is instant PI. If he kissed the badge, maybe when he scored and did all that fist pumping stuff, and Martial did it, you will get more leeway. The same way Martial and Rashford can both have a 4 out of 10 game, and Martial will be criticized more. Because I've seen both of them play poor matches. And Rashford will get criticized less than Mark because he runs around a lot. That type of stuff. That's what it is. It's getting your shots because it's the English way. A lot of the biased English fans, they equate that with being talented. That's what it is. Me working hard for the team. Work hard. Don't work hard. Work smart.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying because I see Pep's team dominate, and how many passion merchants they got in that side? How many players like be kissing the badge and all this type of stuff? Very few.
But and that's what I mean. Liverpool have got some passion merchants in there, but yeah, then we've got some serious. Do you know what I mean?
Even their passion merchants are talented,
and that's what I'm saying.
It's like you could be a talent. I'm cool with you being a passion merchant as long as you're talented. You got talent to go with that. That's cool.
And as long as you offer and bring something to the table.
Bring something to the table, yes. 100%. 100%.
What do you think about Varane?
I don't think it's happening. I've said this verbatim, legit, but let me land on this. Why I think it's not happening. I refuse to believe that we've been doing this show for years.
One minute.
Yeah,
let me get comfy. Just wait, people. Wait.
All right, this is a flip from the start of the show. I refuse to believe that all of a sudden my club want to move like a proper football team and challenge for things after all this time. Why now? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I would use this example. It's like someone being horrible to you for 15, 16 years, and then all of a sudden 1 year they turn nice. You're going to look at them sideways. I do not trust my football club to move proper and actually try and attempt and put pieces in place to challenge for top honors. We just signed. Not only have we signed Sancho, so we signed a quality player at a great age that we actually need on that right wing, and he can play left wing also. And he's also English, so you don't have to worry about him adapting. We're looking at Varane, who's at the right age. It's a massive upgrade in our defense, improves our defense to me.
What age is Varane now?
I think he's 27, 28. So he's pretty much in his prime years. I refuse to believe we're going to go and sign him and you're talking 50 million and you've got Ben White going for that same price. Ben White might be more. He's 28. I refuse to believe my team is moving properly and actually getting players that they're moving like me on FIFA. They're my first two signings. When I play FIFA with Manchester United, they're my first two signings. I always Varane and Sancho are always my first two. And then I probably get a fullback because I just want electric players in terms of pace so I can play a high line. I refuse to believe we're going to go inside. I believe it when I see it. I'm still waiting to see Sancho hold up the shirt. I'm still waiting on that because they holding off on that. Why all of a sudden now are you lot trying to move? And why did you not back other managers the way Ollie's being backed? You brought in Sancho, I think, one of the top young talents in Europe in terms of the eye test and in terms of numbers. And secondly,
without question.
Yeah, and secondly, you're bringing in Varane, who is a quality centre-back to me. I'm a big fan. I've been a big fan of Varane. And he's a massive upgrade on what we have. Go on.
Massive upgrade.
Massive. Oh, yeah. Humongous upgrade.
It will be interesting to see how he adapts, number one, and what the partnership with Maguire is going to look like. Because as you know, Jack's a lifelong Real Madrid fan. I watch Real Madrid games. Varane looks very exposed at times when Ramos isn't there. And he doesn't like the same player. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of Varane you're going to get. That. And because, listen, you can't underestimate how difficult it is for someone who's playing in a foreign league to come over to the Premier League, which is quicker, more physical, faster, different tempo. Like, that will take a lot of getting used to. But Raphael Varane is a phenomenal talent.
And here's the thing, people were saying that, like, oh, how's he going to look without Ramos? And my point is, yes, that's definitely a question mark. But what I don't like is my little bro Ryan will be like, oh, he's no good without Ramos babysitting him. But we haven't seen. He's very good. We haven't seen. But my point to that was, you can say you think that. Cool. We can't say that's a fact because Ramos, when has Varane played over a consistent period of time? When has Varane played without Ramos over a consistent period of time? Like 10 games in a row, 12 games in a row, 20 games. Like, that's not happened because
that's once.
Is it once? So we're talking one time in what, 10 years?
No, but what I'm saying, it was the season when he went out in the Champions League to City, where City got beat by Lyon.
Okay, cool.
Ramos was missing for, I think it was 10, 15 games.
Oh, 10, 15. So that's that one. So we're talking, and what was that year? That was 20.
And even last year, like Ramos was missing quite a bit, and it was him and Militao. It was him and this is the problem, right? And this is why I'm saying I think Raphael Varane is one of my favorite defenders. Yeah. World football has been for years. His ceiling is a joke. He's pacey. He's great in the air. His passing ability. He can come out with the ball. Was one thing that's not helped him at Real Madrid in terms of the partnerships. I've had this conversation with you on air several times in terms of when you were looking at Liverpool and how they were constantly swapping and changing the defensive centre-back pairing. It doesn't help anyone. Varane went through that. But at the same time, there was the one game away at Manchester City where Ramos was injured. It was him and Militao, and Varane looked so exposed, and both goals were his fault. That's a bad game. Bad game. But I am interested to see. I know there's a world-class player there. I don't think he's a bad player, so I don't know what Ryan's talking about. But what I'm saying is I am interested to see how he adapts, because everyone adapts differently. Yeah. And it will be interesting to see, but I'm happy to see Varane in the Premier League. Yeah, definitely not Manchester United.
Yeah, you don't want to see my but I'm very interested to see how he is like without. I was what's it called? Where was it? Sorry, I just got a funny message. I'm interested in seeing, and that's fair point. So you're talking, all right, so he played without him the City season, and then this season we're talking, times last season. So we're talking in a 10-year wingspan or 12 years, however long he's been there, twice. So it's like, can you think that? Yes, 100%. We are, but the thing is, we're gonna find out. Why I don't like is when people say, "Oh, it's only because of Ramos being there," and that. Like,
this man's a World Cup winner. This man's won the Champions League.
He's a quality, and the thing is,
this man's played in big games. He still has to play his part in these big games.
This is what I'm saying, and all centre backs make mistakes. Like I seen someone put a clip on Twitter, and it was off of a Varane mistake. It wasn't really his fault, and then someone quote tweeted and said, "If this is the worst mistake you can get, cool from 10 years, cool." I'm cool with Varane. What people don't realize is we have Victor Lindelof at centre back. Talk about what you like here with Varane's deficiencies.
Yo, wait a minute. I don't know if that translated. Did you see the swag that he just moved when he was trying to explain that we got Victor Lindelof? Look at that.
Yeah, let's just clear this up. He is a massive upgrade on Victor Lindelof on paper, and that's what we're doing. Any player you sign can go wrong. Any player. Liverpool signed Konate. Do I think it's going to be a good signing for them? Yes. Could it go wrong? Of course it can. There's always a case. Haaland to Chelsea, Kane to City, Grealish to City. All of these things can go wrong, but you base it off, all right, let's scout. What's this player done here? What can he do in our side? Varane is a massive upgrade. Also, I think he improves Wan-Bissaka defensively as well. I think he improves Maguire. Does Varane have certain deficiencies? Yes, in terms of the physical standpoint, where people talk about him not being aggressive enough, which could be a problem. But again, what I say to that is, there's no perfect, unless there's a perfect defender I don't know about. Show me a perfect centre back.
Also, do you know what the Varane signing does as well?
Go on.
Pogba.
Oh yeah, I think he can definitely persuade him to stay.
That's my point.
Because it's a step in the right direction.
Here's a question. It's while we talked about Wan-Bissaka, Kevin Trippier.
Okay.
Are you surprised by the links?
Yes, because Oli signed Wan-Bissaka. So that's him saying, all right, Wan-Bissaka isn't good enough, but Wan-Bissaka's come in and done everything you expected. We all know he wasn't.
Do you think it's a case of he isn't good enough, or do you think he's looking to potentially adapt and change the formation to a free? Because think about it.
No, I don't. The reason why I don't think he's going to adapt and change to a free, because I think if he's adapting to a free, he doesn't sign Sancho.
No, because you could still go some games. I'm talking some games.
Yeah.
You could still, as a squad player, Trippier is a ridiculous player. But if you look at,
I'm not mad at Trippier for the price. Absolutely not.
But for example, you look at the goal that England scored in the final.
Yeah.
Starts with Trippier, ends with Shaw. Then you look at, if you're going away to some games, you could still go with the 2 and the 3. You know, similar to what you were talking about with Liverpool. Yeah. Like, you've got the midfield that could do that.
We can, but you know what the problem is? We don't have a manager who can do that. I don't trust him to adapt or implement a back 3. We play 4-2-3-1. I don't think he implements that correctly. Like, people blame the United formation. I say this all the time. You all know this is the manager, and I keep repeating this point. Formations can be defensive or offensive, depending on the personnel
and the mindset.
You can play 4-4-2 and be a defensive side. I use Stoke as the example. Everyone knows about can you do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke? Stoke played 4-4-2.
West Brom.
They're not known. West Brom. They're not known as Burnley. Burnley ain't known as an attacking team.
And they play 4-4-2.
Nobody's like, well, Burnley attacking.
Speaking of Burnley,
we get into that, but they play for, whereas you can play a back 3, which is, if you look at it, looks defensive. But if you play wing backs who are wingers, you have one DM. Everyone else is attacking, literally. So I say this all the time. Any formation can be defensive or offensive. My problem is our manager has a very pragmatic style, which is going to make any formation. I don't trust him to implement it. But we'll soon find out. I wouldn't be mad at Trippier for 15 mil. No, it's all good set piece taker as well. So that helps.
Especially at games away from Europe.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad.
Everton.
What about them?
Have you not seen what they're doing?
What Everton doing? What with the Rafa Benitez? All right, talk on it as not ex-Liverpool.
Andros Townsend.
He's ex-Liverpool. Interested in that? Oh yeah, because Crystal Palace got a
Wait.
lot of players coming out of contract. Go on.
So Andrew Sands on a free.
Yeah.
Damari Gray, 1.5 million. Dwight McNeil.
Is that Rafa Benitez doing?
All free.
Freeze. Okay. So are you trying to add to what they have? Because Everton, it's a shame Ancelotti went to Madrid, but I understand it. But you lot get your questions in as well. We are
What do you
going to
think
do
of
the last
Dwight
half an
McNeil to
hour.
Everton?
Get your questions in. How is Rafa going to set up there?
4-2-3-1.
You reckon he'll go 4-2-3-1? So Dwight, so Rodriguez will play in the 10. Then you Dominic Calvert-Lewin your 9. Does Dwight McNeil play from the left? Does he play from the right? Does Richarlison play from the left?
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Rafa can go 4-2-3-1. He can go 4-4-2 with Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin.
I think it's the end of Richarlison.
I think it's the end of Richarlison. I think Richarlison's gone.
Yeah, I don't think he's good anyway.
Do you know where I can see Richarlison going weirdly enough?
Go on.
PSG.
Jeez, if he goes, what? Do a cheaper malting thing?
He is an upgrade on cheaper malting. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but that's not being said much.
No,
that's an insert player here.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, that's an insert player here. Moises Keane's an upgrade on cheaper malting.
Yeah, the fact that Moise Keane's gone to PSG is...
Moise Keane, this guy was scoring headers at the new camp doing the whoa. You know what I'm saying? Man hit the whoa. You know what I was like...
But that...
You know what? Your wall was hella smooth as well. That's what made me laugh as well.
Obviously, it's hella smooth. Come on now. Like, why are you so surprised by that?
It was like, I've just never seen you hit the wall before.
Come on, man.
Your wall was better than mine.
Come on. Like, 1 minute. This laptop's like delayed. I just want to see the watch back of the wall. Like, it's phenomenal.
Did it now? I think it's afterwards. Oh, geez. But yeah, you lot get your questions into us, and we will answer them. Where does Bruno play with a 3 at the back? I think he'll just play in a 10, and then he'll play, say, a Rashford and a Martial. Yeah. But then that's the problem. That's why I don't think he goes to a back 3, because he's got too many selection headaches with a front 3 and a 10. So I don't think he limits that as well.
Yeah, I just think he might leave him too exposed.
Yeah. What are the expectations for your teams this season from YG? You go for that, Stro, for Liverpool.
What was the question? What are the...
Yeah, what is the expectations for your teams this season, says YG?
It depends for us in terms of what we're doing in transfer market.
Okay, answer both. So your current squad now, and then say you have the window you want.
We've got a challenge for the title.
Challenge for the title and Champions League, be there or thereabouts, like a quarters or semis. Okay, say you have the window. Actually, let us know what players you want. Where do you want to see positions you want strengthened?
Forward areas, because we're losing Mane and Salah to the African Cup of Nations in January. So we need attacking players. I can't rely on Origi. I don't want to see Origi. I don't want to see it. Jota is a phenomenal signing. So we need someone to go at Doku from Belgium, who I know Klopp's a massive fan of. Marlon.
All right.
Squad players. Do you know what I mean? Like someone who can come in and make an impact. I think Shaqiri's gone.
All right, okay.
I know Oxlade-Chamberlain's had a phenomenal start to pre-season, and they're looking at him potentially playing further forward. I wouldn't be mad at that because the pace and energy he brings. Midfield, we need a midfielder. I want Basuma. I want a Sal Niguez. I want someone of that caliber. Someone to replace a Wijnaldum, because we need something in there. We need something different, something where we can change it. Yep. So they're the areas I want to look at.
Okay, so say you strengthen in all those areas with players you like who you think are good enough.
Have to be challenging for the title. Have to.
So how does it change? Because you said challenging for the title with the current squad. So if you get the players in, how does that now switch up? Like, are you expecting to be closer to the top? Like,
because here's the problem is, I'd be silly to say that we're going to go on and win the titles. Regardless of how impacted we were by injuries, there's still issues in that. Mane wasn't Mane. Firmino was just Firmino. Trent was up and down in terms of his form, which needs addressing. We didn't function properly as a unit until Phillips and Williams came in and brought us the stability. There's still a lot of chinks that we need to iron out. So for me, it's top 3 at a minimum, and we have to be challenging for the title. Whereas if we make that...
All right, let me ask you a question then, because this is something Klopp doesn't really target, is the domestic cup competitions. If you get the signings you make and your squad improves...
Do you understand how frustrating it is that we've not won a domestic title for so long?
Yeah, because he doesn't target domestic cups or whatever. So does that change it?
I understand it.
Does that change it if your squad gets better? Do you expect you to challenge and take the FA Cup and the League Cup more seriously?
Yeah. More, you can't, like... We've got the most... Have we got the most FA Cups?
Arsenal.
It's the most League Cups we've got.
Are you the most League Cups?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
8. I I think
Wow.
City are on the way to like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Like,
City are
we
just
can't let
dominating.
that happen.
Yeah,
Like, come on now.
So, yeah. My expectations with our current squad.
Do you think you finish second?
No, not a chance. Ollie tax, not a chance. We
So,
don't finish second.
Here's a question.
For United to finish second, 2 out of the 3. So 2 out of the 3 in terms of City, Chelsea, and Liverpool have to have bad seasons. So Chelsea have to have a season like last season. Liverpool have to have a season like last season.
Here's a question. Liverpool improve.
Yeah.
You get Varane.
Yeah.
Do you think you finish above Liverpool?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because if we have a cut, and that's just Ollie tax. I'm sorry, like for people who
do you
are
want to take a couple seconds to think
that's
about
no,
that?
it's just Ollie tax. Because Ollie's not gonna for Ollie to finish above Klopp, Liverpool have to have a disaster of a season in terms of injuries, or Klopp has to have a big falling out, or FSG or something like that. Like for those things to happen, despite the season you finished 5 points behind us,
which is scary when you think about it.
It's absolutely, that tells you all you need to know.
We're 10 points off top 4, 10 games to go.
Tells you about Manchester United and the quality of the league last season. So when people are like, why are you not happy about finishing second? Is because I understand context matters to things.
I still think
so. This is why
if you come to Anfield last season and you win that game, I still think that's.
But again, that's just a one moment. That's just a one, because we've seen 6 teams after us, minus Manchester City and Chelsea. The other 4 teams are not better than us. Go there and win. So why can't we do that? But that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, we're not. So my expectations for United, if say the squad stays the same, so no Varane, top 4. I don't believe we can finish above City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. If we are in a fight for top 4, let's not get that mistaken, people. In my eyes, we are in a genuine fight for top 4. Leicester will go again. They won the FA Cup. They're going to make a real goal for...
I like what Leicester have done transfer-wise.
Yeah, and they're going to make a real goal for it. I think there'll be a surprise package as well. We don't know how West Ham are going to go. United saving grace is that it's pretty much Leicester. Ooh. I see us battling it out with. Go on.
Good question. Lingard.
You should keep him. I watched the game yesterday. You know, the preseason friendly. And yeah, Lingard. I think I would love to keep him. But all he just doesn't know how to implement him. That is the problem that Manchester United have. So I'd say with the current squad, top 4. If we get everything we need, still top 4. That's my expectations. And the reason why that's my expectations, even if we sign Varane, Trippier, a DM, pick one, Rice, and Ndidi, Basuma, our manager is not good enough. I say this all the time, and he'll be the reason why we fall down. My only difference is my expectations for United in terms of the domestic cup competitions. I think with a favorable draw, we can win one of them. And I'm expecting us to make a goal of both of them because we need a trophy. Ollie needs a trophy. You can't sign Varane, Sancho, a right back, all the players we've got, Bruno's in there, etc., Pogba, and have not won a trophy in a 4-year spell. But the only saving grace I'm looking at, if we do finish outside the top 4, I believe Ollie will be sacked. So, and I think there's a chance of that happening. Because Liverpool have already improved with Konate. Klopp's got the chip on his shoulder. City will go again. Chelsea will go again, which leaves one spot. And we're going to be fighting for it. So I'm genuinely concerned about this season, but I know it might be short-term pain for long-term success. Because I would take finishing 5th right now if it meant Ollie left next season. 100%. Because the squad he leaves with a manager, we get the Tuchel effect. I've said that. A good manager comes in and gets something out of this squad. And we win something and we can compete. All I'm asking is for Manchester United to compete. I'm not even talking about winning trophies. Compete. Last season, we should have competed with Manchester City for that league title. And we was competed for about 21 days. And then it was over.
Can I just say, I think now's the perfect time to address this because we've not really spoken about it much. Tottenham Hotspur.
Go on.
Their new manager.
Oh, Nuno. You called it. Gotta give you your flowers. I gotta give you your flowers. And even Jeremy here says Stroll was just chilled with the wall.
Long ago.
You did say that.
Did I
said that a long time ago.
This? I'm talking months.
Said that a long time ago. Yep. You did.
Even before Nuno left Wolves.
You got it a long time ago. You did. You did.
Do you think he could be a deciding factor to keep Kane?
Depends on what his plans are. What's the project? Can he sell a project to Kane?
I think he goes for the back 3.
It makes sense, but then they literally need a whole. They got Doherty there. They need a whole back. They need 4
That's what I'm saying.
Back 5.
Doherty fits a back 3, right?
Yeah,
that makes sense. Have you got Reguilon still?
I think he's gone back to Madrid.
I thought he had him on an actual transfer.
No, it was a loan deal.
What?
That's why United didn't go for it. It was a loan deal. It wasn't no.
No, I thought it was a transfer, and the reason United didn't go for him was because of the buyback clause.
Nah, it was a loan. It was a loan deal, and I think
what
or something like that. Let us know in the comments. I could be wrong. Double check that. I swear it was a loan deal, but Madrid had first option or something like that.
Yeah, that's why
I know he's not there. I know he's not Spurs' player anyway. I think he's gone back. I think Gareth Bale's gone back as well. Before we get into that, Chris, yeah, regular 2-year loan deal. That's what Jeremy's saying. Chris M says, do you believe Pogba will leave this summer? No, I don't think he'll, yeah. Yeah, with buyback option after 2 years for regular. No, I don't believe Pogba will leave this summer. I don't, because I don't think anyone will put up the money that Manchester United want. That's the problem. And his options are limited. PSG are one. They can put up the money. Who else can really come and get him? Maybe a Real Madrid, because they need to go again. Barcelona, we know Barcelona's issues. So maybe.
Yeah, so it's basically, Real Madrid get first refusal. And what Real Madrid mean by first refusal is they'll get a cut-off price than what everyone else gets.
Okay. All right, so Reguilon's in there, so they just need a whole new back line then. You need 3 centre-backs.
Alderweireld can go in the middle, so you're fine with that.
And then you need 2 to come in and I think Jan City said it to get, and Ellen said it as well as a Spurs fan, to get 2 new centre-backs in and for them to just be good and gel straight away is going to be very tough. Even with Alderweireld, Reguilon, and Doherty there. Like, that's a lot. Think about that. To get 2 centre-backs to come in of a certain quality
and this is
and
why,
they have to gel as well.
And this is why when you're saying these things and then you're looking at Kane and you're thinking, are you not seeing what we're talking about?
Yeah, Peter said it earlier, though, he's too nice. He needs to do what Suarez did with Liverpool, what Ronaldo did with Manchester United. Kick up a fuss.
Euros.
You got to kick up a fuss. You have
like,
to.
Genuinely, that's the reason why Suarez left. He bit Cellini, and then it was curtains from there. Obviously, Harry Kane. Don't bite anyone.
Yeah, we're not advocating that. Prime here says United are my dark horses for the Premier League title. As much as I want to criticize you for that, Prime, you were spot on with the Euros. But why do you think Manchester United are dark horses? I was saying this, I think it was on Rance's stream. Shout out to Rance. Yes, and it was me and Aaron was on there on the Red Talk. And I said, imagine, yeah, all he finishes above Tuchel, Pep, and Klopp. That would create like an alternate universe. You know what I'm saying? And
like, you know, like Marvel.
Yeah, like Loki. Yeah, like at the timeline. Multiverse. Like that would just think about it. What I'm saying there, people. Imagine Ollie with Manchester United, fam, finishes above. Wait, let this land in it. Like, imagine this. Like, we know what Rance called it spot on. You know, if that happens, which I don't believe it will. You know what I'm saying? Stroll's finished. If that happens, I think we got to stop calling managers world class and give more credit to the players.
It was with the timeline.
Yeah, it's with the time. Create a whole new. Think about it. For Ollie to finish above Klopp's Liverpool, Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea, to finish above all 3 of those when they've all gone again in the window, he has to finish above all of them. I'm not calling no more managers world class if that happens. No, I'm not. I'm not. No one's world class anymore. No manager is world class anymore if that happens. Because that's on the players. There's no way he can outmanage all 3 of those.
So seriously, right? It's look at last season, yeah. Liverpool go through what they go through. Chelsea, obviously, you had Lampard, Tuchel come in, phenomenal job. Do you not give Solskjaer any credit for finishing second last season?
Yeah, I give him credit for taking advantage of a weakened league, because it's not your fault it's not your fault what happens to your rivals.
Okay,
and your competition. So I give him credit. I say this all the time about favorable draws. People got mad at me when I said Italy got a favorable draw in the Euros and took full advantage of it. It's not their fault who they took.
No, but you've got to be what's in front of them.
Yeah, same way with England and Southgate. And I'm not his biggest fan either of you, but he took full advantage of the favorable draw to get to the final.
Obviously, apart from Germany, but it's not the same Germany. Yeah. This is not prime.
Germany is the one, and I would say for Italy, Belgium's the one. But for the most part, same with England in the semi. Same with Chelsea, and this ain't a shot at them in the Champions League. PSG, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City were all over the other side of the draw. That's not Chelsea's fault that it went that way. But YG says, what if he finishes above all of them but finishes second flawless? Point still stands, because who's finishing above all 3 of those? What manager? Like, let me know, YG. Like, let's break this down. Who else is there? So Brendan Rodgers at Leicester, Moyes at West Ham.
I don't see it.
Nuno at Spurs. I'm just trying to think of other teams here. Arteta at Arsenal.
No, I'm just saying. I don't see if anyone else apart from the 4 that we just mentioned. I don't see anyone else finishing top. Unless we get like a Leicester 2016 season.
YG, I would still stand and say, I'm not calling managers world class anymore if that happens. and Moyes at West Ham,
I was
or
just
Oli
about
at
to say
United,
Moyes. I was about to say Moyes.
or a Nuno at Spurs, or a Arteta at Arsenal. I'm trying to think who else is in there, or a Vieira at Crystal Palace, or whoever, or a Graham Potter at Brighton. Somehow managed to finish top of the league, and United finished second, and Tuchel, Pep, and Klopp are all underneath. Football managers are overrated. These men manage themselves at this point. These men manage themselves at this point. They do. Them men manage themselves at this point. They do. 100%. They manage themselves at this point. With Klopp, all jokes aside, Klopp, Pep, and Tuchel, you're talking 3 of the best managers in Europe currently. You're talking...
in world football.
Yeah. You're talking 2 of the last 3 Champions Leagues. You're talking the last, 5 Premier Leagues.
Wait, I've just thought of the manager that could potentially do it.
Go on, who?
One of the best managers in world football.
Go on, who?
One of the most historic managers in world football.
Rafa?
No.
Who?
Bielsa? That would pain you. That would pain you so much.
If Bielsa did it, I'd be like, give Bielsa full credit. But I'm like, managers, I'm not calling no managers world class. I'm sorry. To finish above all 3 of those, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that Chelsea with Tuchel coming off a Champions League, Pep being Pep, winning 3 out of the last 4, Klopp being Klopp with Liverpool, and you're gonna get like, no, managers are overrated. Like, I'm calling it. If Oli somehow finishes above all those 3, managers are no longer world class. I'm not calling that no more. I'll be honest, bro. I can't logically explain it. There's just this weird feeling that I have that makes them dark horses. Don't get it twisted. I'm still back in Chelsea transfers dependent. No, I know you are, Prime, but I know when you say these things, you called the Italy one. So I'm like, let me get your thoughts, because I want to be lied to about this, because I don't see us finishing above those 3. If Klopp wasn't here and maybe Pep wasn't here, and United had to finish above 1, but you're talking quality teams, quality sides, quality managers.
Yeah, because this is where the difference is in big games. Is
in big games, I think Klopp will make the right decision. I think Pep will make the right decision. I think Tuchel will make the right decision in the key moments over 38 games. We're not talking a cup competition that's 2-legged.
Yeah, because you don't realize, like, there could be, for example, making a substitution to seal a 1-1. You know what I mean? Because that point will count further on down the line, and you don't realize what kind of impact that can have in terms of a transfer race. So I do know what you're saying, but.
Jeremy says, Flawless, would you ever change your mind on Oli? If so, what does he need to do this season for him to change your mind? Would I change my mind? Yes, I'm always open.
You want to change your mind?
I want to be right. As I see Stroll saying, I've said it many a time. I want to be wrong about our manager. Everything that all the Oli-inners say about Oli, I want him to be right. I'd love us to be able to sit here and be like, oh, we on for the quadruple next season. I just don't believe it. I don't believe he wins a Premier League or a Champions League. I think we're capable with the squad we have to win an FA Cup or a League Cup if the draw is favourable.
Here's another question, just to branch up on that. So, with the squad available, it's title challenging worthy, yeah? Correct me if I'm wrong.
But currently now?
Yeah.
No, because
no. If you get Varane,
even if we get Varane, I think the DM issue is still a massive problem.
But what I'm saying is, for example, if you win, like, it's worthy of challenging for a title, yes.
Worthy challenging, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I'm saying is, if you then win the league with this team, do you give Oli most of the credit?
I give him a lot. If we win the league, yes, I have to, because he's proved me wrong. I'm open to be. I've said this with the Oli thing. I've said I want to. If he wins the league, because people said, "Oh, what will make you switch from Oli out to Oli?" If he wins a Premier League or Champions League, I'll switch. Because you've done something that I didn't believe you could.
All of you Oli-inners, listen to that response. Just listen to that response. You are talking to a man that is as fair as can be. He's got 100%. To prove something. That's all it is.
Yeah. So what would it take for me to change? I'd like to see him. There's multiple things. Implement a style of his own. Be more attacking. Be more brave. I'm not even asking for much. Be more attacking.
Be brave is a big one, because I'm still so critical of that Anfield game.
Be more brave. Go for it. Utilize the squad that you have. Why are we relying on individual brilliance to get us through games when we have the quality we have? Why is it that we finished second, and you could argue, probably aside from Bruno and Luke Shaw, that none of our players would make Premier League team of the season? Make that make sense.
Realistically, you should have been 15, 20 points ahead of us.
There you go. So yeah, that's what it would take. He needs a whole change from his attitude. Just attack and be brave. Implement a style. Stop persisting with McFred. Utilize what you have. Utilize your bench. You have one of the best benches in the league.
McFred sounds like a chocolate bar.
Yeah, it's like utilize. Sounds like a dead McDonald's order. You know what I'm saying? Utilize the bench that you have. You have so many options.
It's like McVitie's biscuits, McFred.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know what I mean? That's why I rate flawless. At least man comes with points. I'm open to be changed. Like,
And
I'm
that's what I'm
open to
saying,
be,
like, you can't
be
get a
changed on
fairer
it.
response than
100%.
that.
I'll call things wrong. If he wins the league above those 3 managers, I say I called this completely wrong. And let's say 2 things I know not as much about football as I thought I know. And managers are overrated. That's what I would say. That's what I would say.
Griezmann has been offered to clubs around Europe. Would you guys take him?
Personally, no, I wouldn't take him.
1,000,000% yes.
You would take him. Okay, why would you take him?
He can play a false 9.
That is true. That is true.
And he can finish.
That is true. For me, no, just because we have so many attacking options.
Yeah, for you, it doesn't make sense. However, for me, it's like all day.
100%.
I'd walk to Barcelona and game.
I hear that. You don't continue to get your questions in for the last 5 minutes. Please make sure you hit the like button on the video if you're watching on the YouTube. Subscribe. Also, large up to big up everybody who's listening in via DAB radio, man. This is a YouTube show, people. We out here on DAB radio. Pi Radio goes out to, to a minimum. It's a minimum. And we just, measly 500,000 potential listeners. I'm saying salute to Big S. Salute to Spots. Also, the whole Pi Radio hierarchy. 100%.
Come to Pi Radio.
Yeah, man. Big up Pi. Come to Pi Radio. Where else we at? But yeah, that's my feelings literally are like on Ollie. He's got to do so much to change, because I was Ollie in, like when he came in, he sold me the dream when he was interim manager. I say this all the time. Interim manager Ollie's different. But yeah, my thoughts, Manchester United. If we finish top 4, my expectations this season, currently right now, because obviously things can change. So I'm not saying if City or Chelsea or Liverpool fall off, is top 4 and one of the domestic trophies. If we do that, I'd take that. I would take that. And I just want an improvement on the way we play. Go on, what's going on?
I've just seen Prime's comment from before.
What did he
Senegal
say?
will win the African Cup of Nations. That is a bold statement.
I need to do my research on the African Cup of Nations teams and see what's what. There will be watch-alongs going on for the African Cup of Nations on Sarcasm City TV as well, people. That will be happening.
See how flawless that alley was with the setup.
Yeah, it was.
Cool.
Brilliant, man. Could only dunk it. You know what I'm saying?
So listen, my world was on point. The setup was on point.
100%. 100% it was. But yo, love to everyone who's locked in. You know what I'm saying? And that big up to everyone who crossed over from Sarcasm City TV, because what I do is I go live on the Sarcasm City TV channel to let people to know to come over to Pi Radio, so it's tagged there. And make sure you subscribe to Sarcasm City TV.
And if you are coming over from Sarcasm City for the first time, stay, like, subscribe,
because we come
again next week.
Because you gotta think, look how fire this show was. Me and Stro going back and forth on Henderson and other things like that. Imagine when games start being played and we got stuff to discuss, like results, all of that type of stuff. We will be bringing in special guests as well. That will be happening.
We got some special.
All the people you see us like working with in regards to the YouTube space, we will be bringing in at different points. 100%. And let us know in the comments as well. You lot who you want to see as special guests also.
Yeah, let us know what guests you want to see.
Yeah. I think we are gonna close out the show very shortly. We went over the 20 likes on the YouTube as well. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yeah, Stro, anything you want to add before we close out?
Yeah.
Go on.
Jordan Henderson walks into every team.
Close out the show, it. But love to everyone who's been locked in. Obviously, I got to get up to end the broadcast because we need to get the wireless mouse for the, we got 2 computers here, people. But love to everyone who's locked in. We're here every Monday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. discussing all things Premier League, plus more, myself and Stro. Love to our brother JV.
Yeah,
each
love you, brother.
Every time as well. Stro, take us out, please.
So yeah, you are tuned in to the greatest. No, I'm joking. Obviously, from a third eye view, every Monday, 7 p.m. till 9. Myself, Flawless. Obviously, salute to my brother JV. Love you. Miss you, brother. Yeah, like I said, in the comments, let us know what guests you want us to get on in the future. We'll be doing a lot more stuff with regards to guests. So yeah, get your questions in. Make sure you come back. Yeah, JV is good. He's good. It's just obviously life goes on and got stuff to handle. Obviously, he's a man. Like I said, love, brother. It's not like the Joe Budden podcast. There's no Rory and Miles situation. Let me just make that clear. Like, he's still family, still my brother. Love him, miss him. Can't wait to have him back. But yeah, like I said, from Pi Radio, from a third eye view, every Monday, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m.